are today. First-year program, $100 million facility. Wow.
We'll get that next year.
Yeah.
You know, I think back to 1998 when you started college football in Fort Wayne. You referred to your young freshmen as your pups, your young pups. This is a Davenport team. They've got 17 freshmen or redshirt freshmen that start both sides of the ball. Talk about Davenport. They've got 6 wins, including a win over one of those College of Faith programs, but not your typical first-year program.
No, they're not. They're not going to be embarrassed going into the GLIAC next year. I mean, they probably have half those guys on full rides. I mean, they've invested in this facility. They've invested in athletes. They're young, but they are big, strong, fast, and athletic. They have been in every game. In games that they've lost, they have been in the fourth quarter. They've not been in a blowout. They've had a couple, but they have fought through the fourth quarter each and every opponent.
You know, one of the things that caught my attention, they're 1-2 against the MSFA, but they go into Chicago and beat St. Xavier. That does get your attention.
Yeah, it does. Who they get? They got St. Phil.
USF Illinois.
Yeah. They
Taylor at the beginning of the year.
That's right. Taylor was the first game. Probably got them at the right time. A lot of confusion in game 1, you know, but yeah, it does get your attention. 20-7 over St. X. Beat a good Quincy team that's in a good Division II league with Indianapolis. Quincy beat Indy. These guys turn around and knock them off. So, you know, they're a good football team. They've obviously made an institutional commitment to be the best thing possibly be. You know, we're going to play with 4 good quarters today.
Tell me about your team, the week of practice, points of emphasis. This is hard to believe, last regular season game, then a week off.
Well, we just got to keep getting better. I mean, you can't look too far ahead. You can't look back. You learn from the past and you grow, and you got to move on. We got to continue to get better. And today's going to be an example of that. We're going to have to play well. Then, you know, you have a couple days off to recoup because we opened that last week of the season. Then, you know, you start postseason. So it is what it is. And yeah, I believe in our kids. They're great kids. I love them to death. And, you know, they're going to play hard.
Playing of our national anthem, and right before that, Coach Kevin Donnelly in his 19th year as head man, the only coach the football Cougars have known. They bring an 8-1 record here on the road today, and 5-1 in the Mid-East League, still ranked number 4 in the NAIA most recent rankings. Of course, the Cougars are idle next Saturday. Everybody else will finish up in the regular season, and then the pairings come out, and the expectation, the hope is the Cougars will have at least one home playoff game on Saturday, November the 19th, in the first round of the NAIA playoffs. A year ago, the Cougars were 11-1, finished undefeated in the Mid-East League at 6-0. Davenport today comes in at 6-4. And that it does include one of those exhibition type of victories over one of the College of Faith programs. They are 4-2, though, on this field here at the Farmers Insurance Athletics Complex. And what a facility it is. $100 million they've invested in this first-year football program, and it is just spectacular, something else to behold. The Panthers are coached by Lou Esposito. He's a former defensive coordinator at Ferris State. And as we mentioned, they did beat College of Faith 32-0, part of that 6-4 record. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, and we will be back with more of our pregame show, getting ready for the final regular season game for St. Francis and the playoffs down the road in a couple of weeks. We'll be back with more. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Make a difference in your life and others by joining. Every great team has focus and talent, and at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you and the athletes in your life be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
Hey, it's Kyle from The Kyle Hyman Show, heard weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on Redeemer Radio. On our show, being Catholic's fun. Every morning, we meet you where you are, getting out of bed, drinking your coffee, or on your way to work. Through prayer, interviews, and personal stories, we bring you Catholicism with joy and fun to start your day. So don't miss The Kyle Hyman Show, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. right here on Redeemer Radio.
Back in Caledonia, Michigan, I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us. So what a spectacular day it is here. We are, well, if you're familiar with Grand Rapids, we're real close to the airport, the Grand Rapids Airport here, Gerald Ford Airport. And this field is laid out from north to south. Cougars just coming onto the field right now as we are moments away from the meeting of the co-captains in the at midfield. Our referee today is Brian Earl. 57 degrees just ahead of kickoff. Winds out of the west-southwest at about 10 miles an hour. Temperature is supposed to reach into the low 60s before we leave the air today. So just a gorgeous day. Just a few clouds in the sky here as we get set for this final Cougar football regular season game on the road. Other games today in the MSFA. Marion is at USF Illinois and Joliet today. Concordia, they're home against Missouri Baptist. That could be quite a matchup as Missouri Baptist showed a lot of promise, a lot of potential, getting to the Cougars early with long scoring touchdown passes. And Concordia, of course, the team that beat Siena Heights 41-0 earlier in the year. Siena Heights, speaking of which, the Saints are on the road at Trinity International, and Taylor, they goes to Lindenwood Belleville. Interesting game also today in the Midwest League. It's Robert Morris at 3-0. They're playing at St. Xavier 3-1. Those are Midwest League records. Cougars are 5-1 in the Mid-East League. This is not even a crossover game. It's just a non-conference game as the Cougars try to finish at 9-1 for the year. Offensively, the Cougars number 2 in the MSFA, averaging over 40.5 points a ball game. They are giving up 17.2. That also is second best in the league. As far as Davenport, they're averaging 26.7 points a ball game, giving up 15.6. Davenport, as we've been talking about, not exactly a first-year program. What they're supposed to be doing after starting the season 1-2, Davenport proceeded to win 4 games in a row. That includes a 20-7 victory at St. Xavier on October the 1st. Most recently, the Panthers lost here at home to the Pumas of St. Joe Rensselaer last Saturday, 24-20. 4 of their games have been decided by 4 points or fewer, and in those games, they are 1-3. Last Saturday here, Davenport took a 17-7 lead to halftime dressing room, but fueled by a 37-yard pass play from quarterback Hunter Kraus to former Wayne star Keon Powers. Keon and Dion are both here playing for Davenport. Let's go down on the field. Bill Scott's down there. Brian Earl is our referee today for the meeting and the introduction and the coin toss coming up.
Hey, man, Brian, Mark, be here all day. Take care of you guys. Listen to us, okay? We're here to help you out, okay? You guys are the away team speaking captain? Sure. Speaking captain for the home team? Good. NCAA has had 40th is tails, heads. What is your call? Tails. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. You're gonna let it drop. You have won the toss. What would you like to do? Defer. St. Francis has won the toss. I'd like to defer the decision to the second half. You obviously want the ball. Which way are we going, man? That way we get back towards here. What did I tell you?
Okay, Joe, I think you heard that. Cougars win the toss. We'll defer. We'll be kicking to the north. We got a nice breeze out here today, and it's a beautiful day for football, so let's play ball.
Thanks very much, Bill Scott. SID at St. Francis down on the field. We'll take a break. We'll be back with kickoff. It's Davenport against St. Francis when we return. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hey, sports fans, listen to who just scored again. John Sullivan with RE/MAX. Buying a home or selling yours? You need the best coach around. Score with John Sullivan at RE/MAX. Score with John. Call RE/MAX and ask for John Sullivan to coach you in buying a home or selling yours. Sports fans, it's time to score with John Sullivan at RE/MAX.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Let us pray. As we gather in your name, O Lord, there are so many things for which we are grateful, for you have created us in your image and likeness, and you have filled us with gifts and talents and abilities. We thank you for the gifts that you have bestowed upon these athletes, their coaches, their parents, and their supporters. We ask you to bless this contest in which we show forth the beauty of creation by using our talents wisely. Help us always to use them for your greater honor and glory in a spirit of fairness and competition, so that this game may truly be a way of bringing to the world an awareness of you who are Lord forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Strap in and turn up the radio for hard-hitting, high-scoring USF Cougar football. Coach Kevin Donnelly joins Joe Parson and the Redeemer Radio sports team for one of the great traditions in Fort Wayne sports as we count down to the kickoff on Redeemer Radio.
Live from Michigan, welcome back everybody as Ferrer kicks it, Nix kicks it away and deep into the end zone. As the Panthers take a knee, they'll come out 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Getting ready for the first snaps of the ball game. Davenport in the black uniforms, red and white piping on the numerals, black helmets, moving from right to left, 1st and 10 at the 25. William Guest expected to see a lot of work today as the running back. He's a 5'9" sophomore. Lots of freshmen, redshirt freshmen. We'll tell you more about that. Quarterback Hunter Kraus has got motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Give us to Guest. He works off tackle in the second level across the 30 and brought down at about the 31-yard line. Curling up there, Lee Stewart came up with run support from the safety position. That's a gain of 8. Guest coming in with 397 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's averaging just under 6 yards a carry. So 2nd down and a long 2. 2 wide to the left side now. And they're going to run with a fullback as well. Offset to the right side. Now Kraus might be changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. Play clock at 12. Sets up out of the shotgun formation once again. Ready to take the snap. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Again, play action fake, rolls to his left, looking downfield. And here's a ball that's wide. A little bit of wind, as we mentioned. That looked like it caught the ball and pushed it to the sidelines out of bounds. Winds out of the west-southwest at about 10 miles an hour. That would create a crosswind from the far side to the near side. So now it's 3rd down and short. On 3rd downs last week against St. Joe Rensselaer there, Panthers were 4 of 15 for 27%. For the year, they are at 35% on 3rd down conversion opportunities. Shotgun formation once again. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right side. Motion out of that, left to right. And here's a counter run by Guest. Gets away from one, but the Cougars have got him for a stop, and now there's a penalty flag. Might have a face mask in there. Let's see. As Himmelgarn got great penetration across the line of scrimmage. Davenport signaling that foul against St. Francis. Our referee, Brian Earl. And we'll wait for the officials to let us know what this is going to be about. Cougars are backing up already. Still do not have a confirmation. Goes against Nashawn Lewis on the face mask. That's a major one. It'll take the ball all the way up just short of midfield to the Davenport 48-yard line. So the Cougars, that's a costly penalty. They had them stop. It was going to bring up 4th down. Cougars are next to last in the MSFA in penalties, averaging over 73.5 yards a game in penalties. And that was a costly one there. 4th down, defensive lineman for St. Francis. motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Guest comes, cuts it up, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. Maybe a half a yard at most. Pearson Harnish pinched in, got some help from Christian Johnson up front. So a short gain of 1 yard, 2nd down and 9, and a long 9 coming up. Checking the wideouts, we're looking for Keon Powers out of Wayne. He plays offense. His twin brother, Dion, plays defense, basically. 2 protectors in now on 2nd down and long for Hunter Kraus. And they'll run the ball. And here's not anything available in the middle once again. Ball pop free. That's picked up by Stewart, but the whistle had blown. And it'll bring up 3rd down and long again. And we've got an injury as one of the Panthers is down on the carpet. So they will tend to him. And we'll take a quick time out here at the Farmers Insurance All Athletic Complex here in Caledonia, Michigan. Timeout on the field. 13:03 remaining here early on in this first quarter. We have no score, and this is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
You can help support your Catholic parish or school with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union's Elevate program. You'll not only enjoy excellent personal service and save money with your new loan or credit card, you'll also be giving money back to the participating parish or school you care about. Let Notre Dame Federal Credit Union elevate all participating parishes or schools. Elevate can be reached at 844-230-6611 or visit us online at ndelevate.com. Independent from the university.
Back, here we are now, ready to go on 3rd down and 9. And here is Kraus rolling to his right side. Boy, they had a big-time hold. I don't think they're going to get it called, but here's the guest. I should say Kraus keeps the ball himself. Pop free. Did St. Francis get it? We'll wait for the indication. It's going to bring up, at the worst, it'll bring up 4th down from about midfield. And I believe it will be no recovery by St. Francis. It will be 4th down and 5 from the USF 48-yard line. Now, Patrick Gregory does all the kicking, but it looks like they're going to run a play. They would have to get to the USF 42-yard line on this snap. Now they back away. Play clock shows 15. Kraus looking to the near sidelines. See exactly how they want to run a play, and they are going to run a play from midfield, basically. 4th down and 6. Now they back up, and Kraus may kick the ball. He pulls it down. There's a whistle. It is going to be false start. Going to be the call against the Panthers. That's their first penalty of the ball game. They had 8 penalties here against St. Joe Rensselaer last week for 105 yards. Their first of the day, and they're averaging just under 50 yards a game in penalties. So that'll back them up, and it'll bring up 4th down and 11. And they still stay in that same formation, shotgun formation, with Kraus back there, and he does have a couple of punts and has along the 45. Still with 16 on the play clock. Taking a look now, the Cougars do drop one back at punt return. Normally that's Boswell back there inside the 20. But here is the kick away. It's a high, wobbly ball. And Lee Stewart lets it bounce and picks it up on the one bounce and then steps out of bounds at about the 23, 24-yard line. They'll say that he actually went out of bounds at the 25, so Lee Stewart was back at punt return. Picks it up, and the Cougars will have their first possession of the ball game. No score with 11:33 remaining in this first quarter, and we'll see the Cougar offense now trot onto the field for the first time today. Well, Nick Ferrer, big day last week. He was 22 of 30 through the air for 421 yards. Second time in his career he's been over 400 yards passing. Also threw for 3 touchdowns on the day. No interceptions, no sacks. Or check it, they sacked one of the backups, not Ferrer. They'll run the ball off tackle right side. Here's Justin Green across the 30-35 and angles out of bounds. Across the 35-yard line, he will have a first down as he will be spotted with the football up around the 38-yard line. So Justin Green with a good move. scored a rushing touchdown last week. And the Cougars with improving field position now at their own 38-yard line. Seth Coate in wide to the left side. Looks like Kelsaw's up on the slot to the left side as well. Here's Ferrer, gives it off now to Green, and he runs in, but he reverses back to the left side. No hole there immediately. Does get back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit from the right side defensively. Cougars with that offensive line that averaged 279 a man tackle. Brian Gegner, the veteran senior, 6'3" center, joined by Zach Minardo and Jalen Gamble. King and Bruner, I should say, and Alex Woods are the tackles starting today. 2nd down and 10 with the ball still at the USF 38, moving from left to right out of the south end zone. Ferrer out of the pistol now. 2 wide, spread offense, 2 wide either side. Short drop, looks near side, throws the ball. McDowell's got it. Boy, they were on him quickly, but he was able to muscle ahead for another first down, I believe. Yes, they do move the chains. Monty McDowell, who has just been huge in recent weeks. Last week, 149 yards receiving on just 4 catches, 2 receiving touchdowns. And they'll move the chains just up short of midfield down at the USF 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Cougars go into their modified goal line offense now with 1 wide to the near side. That is it. And Ferrer's got Akeem Kelsaw. They'll flip the ball to him, and he lost the ball. And let's see, that's ruled an incomplete pass. So Davenport thinks they've got a fumble recovery, but that is ruled an incomplete pass. But dangerous nonetheless. Just what we suspected, an incomplete pass, so it brings up simply just 2nd down and 10. This Davenport defense has got 22 sacks on the year, 15 interceptions. They had 1 last week. 2nd down and 10 from the USF 48-yard line. Inside of 10 minutes, time remaining, first quarter, we have no score. Ferrer drops to throw again, looks to the left side. He's got a man out there, that's Coate, and angles out of bounds, stepped out of bounds inside the 40 at about the 37-yard line of Davenport. They'll move him back a yard to the 38. It will be 1st and 10, USF on the march here. As they stop Davenport on their first offensive series. Cougars won the toss deferred. They'll get the ball first to start the second half. McDowell splits wide to the right, Coate wide to the left. Up in the slot to the right side is Kelsaw. Green stays in as the running back. They've got Gegner off on the wing to the left side. And here is Ferrer to throw again. Throws the home run ball looking for McDowell, but that one sailed wide. Again, the wind might have caught that one, as McDowell had about 2 steps on the defenders. Couldn't catch up to it, though, and incompletion stops the clock with 9:19 remaining here in the opening quarter. Cougars open next week, no game. Most every other team will continue to play 1 more week. Then the pairings 2 weeks. And first playoff game will be 2 weeks from today on November the 19th. The hope is that St. Francis will host at least 1 home game in the first round. Ferrer with motion from Kelsaw. Counter run. Green cuts it up, that runs into traffic and got only, well, he's going to lose yards back around the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 12. Loss of a couple. Penetration up the line, up the middle that time. Good linebackers. Brent Showers comes in 6 tackles last week, 2 for loss against the St. Joe Pumas. And he leads the Davenport Panthers with 91 tackles on the year, 13 for loss. Cougars trying to reach inside the 29 to about the 28-yard line on this snap now. Motion again, Gegner to the far side. Here's the drop and a throw in the middle. They've got a catch and they've got a first down. And Coate dragging tacklers inside the 10, got to the 5, still on his feet inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Let's see if the knee hit back around the 5. But it'll be 1st and goal on the quick hitting play from Ferrer to Seth Coate. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Normally in this situation, they'll bring in Aaron Harris as the running back. And there is Aaron, the 205-pound, 5'9" senior in the backfield. Ferrer's got Akeem Kelsaw up on the wing to the right side. Ferrer looking, he's got motion now. Gegner left to right behind the line of scrimmage. They'll hand to Harris. Harris looking for some running room into the end zone for a touchdown. officially a touchdown run of 3 yards for St. Francis at the 8:01 mark. And the Cougars, unlike a week ago, nicely stopping Davenport on their first possession and a 3-yard touchdown run in the end zone. That is going to be touchdown number 10 on the year for Aaron Harris, and the Cougars lead at 6-0. So Harris with a great job doing what he does from 3 yards out. Now Nix will try to give St. Francis an early 7-0 lead. Boswell, the holder. Right-footed kick is on the way, looks long enough, on the way, and good. So we have a timeout here at Caledonia, Michigan, and USF on top early. The fourth-ranked Cougars have a 7-0 lead, and we will be back with more. This is Cougar Football on the road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Here's a money-saving tip from Mumper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Exposed attic ceiling joints and ductwork or new snow that quickly melts off your roof means you need to add insulation. We'll fill empty sidewall cavities with insulation, even through masonry aluminum or vinyl siding with no unsightly holes. Plus, we'll seal your crawl space with urethane foam for a total insulation package. Call Mumper Insulation at 432-7543 for a free, no-obligation energy analysis of your home.
So Ryan Nix knocks through the extra point. He was 3 for 3 last week, and he's 48 of 51 now for the year, and that will make it a 7-0 St. Francis lead. If you were not around last week, it was wild and woolly at Darcy Stadium as Missouri Baptist, on 2 possessions to start the ball game, hit 80-plus yard touchdown passes against St. Francis. Now the Cougars did come back and win it easily, but it was a little bit surprising to start. Here's Nix now. Wind might be catching that one. It'll sail about 3 yards deep, and again a knee taken, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Davenport. They'll have it at the Panther 25-yard line. Pretty good execution by the Cougars offensively on that opening series, but now Davenport well, as we mentioned, Kevin Donnelly, Davenport starts 9 redshirt freshmen or true freshmen on offense, and they have another 8 on defense. So a very young team that will move to Division II, NCAA Division II next year. Here's a play-action fake, and Krause looking to dump the ball off. Has got a catch, and good open field tackle that time as Spencer Coward came out, made the play immediately. Keontae Ewing on the catch. That's just the 2nd on the year. He'll pick up about 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Cougars with 4 defensive down linemen. They bring in Matt Swartz now. So it's Lucas Sparks at ranked defensive end. And meanwhile, shotgun formation on 2nd down and 7. Play action fake, they'll run the ball off tackle, and there's a wall there. Maybe a gain out to about the 30 at best. Lee Stewart again came up. Eric Dunton was there defensively for St. Francis as Mike Ivey in there. Leaves them, came in to start the day with 94 carries for 395 yards. Also leads them with 4 rushing touchdowns. And the gain to the 30 will bring up 3rd down and 5. Panthers trying to reach their own 35-yard line on this snap. Cougars with 2 back, and now they drop 3 back into coverage. Krause out of the gun, got motion, left to right behind the rolls to the right side, throws quickly, and that one is dropped. Little crossing pattern that time. Couturier might have been the intended receiver, but he could not find the handle, so it'll be 4th down, 4th and 5, and this time they're going to have a bona fide punt team out there. First series, they used Hunter Krause to make a late decision on really a couple of times on 4th down to decide. He finally did punt the ball away. But a good option, as we mentioned, Krause does have a 45-yard punt on the year. Meanwhile, Gregory's got a 59-yard long punt of the season. Patrick Gregory, he waits back at the 16-yard line of Davenport. Boswell back at the USF 37. Rushes on. Boy, that one was nearly blocked. Boswell has got it. Fair catch is then at the 35-yard line. So St. Francis with 6:35 remaining in the opening quarter, already up at 7-0, and it'll be their second possession of the ball game when the Cougar offense comes out onto the field. Well, one of the sterling bright spots this year for the Cougars, their defense. They have 34 sacks on the year. That's number 1 in the Mid-States Football Association. And they've given up just 13, a big improvement over a year ago. As far as the 13 sacks given up, that ranks 4th best in the MSFA. So Ferrer with the offensive unit back on the field now. 2 wide to the left. Blitz is coming defensive right side. Green runs to the right. Straight arms one and angles out of bounds up. Let's see, did he get to the 40-yard line? He did. Maybe a little bit more than the 40, close to the 41. Joe goes Justin Green. Green quick stepping. The 186-pound sophomore came in with 90 carries on the year for 525 yards. That was 7th best in the Mid-States Football Association. And he picks up 6 yards to bring up 2nd down and 4. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Now we're just approaching 6 minutes, time remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 St. Francis. Ferrer ready to take the snap once again. Motion by Kelsall, right to left, but that straight ahead carry. Green upended, but he's got a first down or close to it at the 45. Quick hitting play once again. Little hole opened up between Jalen Gamble and Brian Gagner up the A-hole. And they're going to mark him down short at the 44. So it'll bring up 3rd down and a yard. No first down. This time, McDowell splits wide to the short side to the right. Very tight formation other than McDowell, and even he's only about 4 or 5 yards away from the rest. They'll run the ball, and they're tripping, but falling forward. Angled run again to the right was Green just after he took the ball, but he got enough before he went down to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the USF 46-yard line. Boy, Green caught the carpet in his cleats just as he was taking the handoff, but had enough momentum that stumbled forward enough to pick up the first down. St. Francis stays in that tight formation, goal line offense. A couple of wingbacks basically, and McDowell wide to the near side. Waiting for the snap, and a little motion. Nicodemus is in there. They'll hand the ball off, and Green working to his left and got a couple of yards. Looked like he had more running room, but then pursuit came and stopped him short of midfield. That'll be a gain of 1 as they'll spot the ball up at the 47-yard line. This Davenport defense against the run are giving up only 87.4 yards a game. And compare that with the Cougar defense against the run this year, giving up 91.7. That's 2nd best in the Mid-States, but it gives you an indication how good this Davenport team is, especially against the run. 2nd down and 9. Let's see if the Cougars go to the air as Ferrer drops. Here comes the rush, steps up, throws to the right side. He's looking, but McDowell, that time Ferrer had to get rid of it. They were coming up the middle en masse. Ferrer knocked down, did get rid of the ball, but he had to hurry the throw and wide and short of McDowell. So now 3rd down and 9 with St. Francis trying to reach the 44-yard line of Davenport on this snap. Well, one of the strategies in the last 5 or 6 games, they've been trying to move Seth Coate around in various places, not just simply as a wideout, sometimes as a tight end, sometimes as a slot receiver. This time he'll be split wide to the left side, and it looks like he's going to draw Deion Powers, who leads the Panthers with 4 interceptions on him in press coverage. Motion Nicodemus near side. Here's the throw in traffic, and the catch is made by, no, they dropped the ball. McDowell could not hold on. He had double coverage, and the Cougars will bring Spitnail on to kick the ball away, leading it 7-0 with just over 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Nate Couturier will check into the game. 2 punt returns last week, had a long of 25. He's got a long of 82 on the year, and he will set up shop at the Panther 10-yard line. So Spitnail getting ready to punt the ball away. Got it to end over end. And here is the catch made and a run to the right side, and there's running him. Couturier gets by the defense. Now hauled down at the 31. Well, I tell you what, that might have been a big saving tackle that time, and I'm trying to get the number. That might have been, was that Pearson Harnish? We'll check it for you. I think it was. But there was a lot of green in front of Couturier after that punt return. So the Panther offense back on the field now, trailing at 7-0. Hunter Kraus is a 6'3" true freshman. Comes in with 1,418 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, just 1 interception on the year. Shotgun formation once again. Now he's got motion behind the line of scrimmage from right to left. The run guessed that way. And turns upfield, got some running room. Still on his feet. That's Mike Ivey. Not guessed. Mike Ivey. Redshirt freshman, 187-pounder. And he's got a good gain all the way across the 45-yard line up to the... Now they'll set the ball down right at the 45. So good enough for a first down. That time they used the motion man for a lead blocker. And a good run by the young redshirt freshman, Mike Ivey. 2 protectors in now for Kraus out of the gun. Motion as well, left to right. Short drop, looks left, screens the ball up the middle. Catch is made to midfield. And they'll get into Cougar territory now on that screen pass. Keon Powers on the receiving end of it on the middle screen. Oh, he and his brother Dion are up here from Wayne High School, enjoying this marvelous complex. That's a gain of 8, second down and 2. Inside of 3 minutes time remaining opening quarter. Now Kraus with 1 protector to his right, shotgun formation again. Looking read option, hands the ball off, and they're not going to get there. That might be Guest back in there. It is William Guest on the carry. And boy, he got a generous spot that is not enough for a first down, but they mark him at the 46. Never got that far. It'll be 3rd down and a yard. Himmel Garn and Christian Johnson in the middle defensively for St. Francis. And Cam Shackelford now in at left defensive end. 2 protectors in again. Play action fake. And here is a run. And they did not, I don't believe that Hunter Kraus got to the spot. Well, I'll tell you what, again, a generous spot of the football is going to come up right about the 45. And let's see if they are going to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10. A referee today, Brian Earl, and his crew, very generous with their spots so far, especially for Davenport. And they'll have a 1st and 10 at the USF 45-yard line. Now we're inside of 2 minutes, time remaining in the opening quarter. 7-0 St. Francis. But beginning to move the ball now are the Panthers. Motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Read option again. Curl play up the middle. Second effort by Ivey. Pushed back, but he got to about the 44, just inside the 44 of St. Francis. Pearson Harnish getting off the bottom of the pile. Harnish last week led the Cougars against Missouri Baptist with 10 tackles, had 1 of the 3 interceptions by USF. Gain of 2 for Ivey, 2nd down and 8. Crowd kind of quiet right now. Good crowd from Fort Wayne, by the way, on the far side. Cheering on St. Francis. Read option, quick throw comes near side, a catch for a first down. That was to Durante Powers. He's a transfer from Snyder High School. So a lot of Fort Wayne representation, and they're all named Powers. The twins, Keon and Dion, and Durante. 1st and 10 now at the 31. Cougars gave a big cushion on that last 3rd down and short call. Here's Hunter Kraus once again ready for the snap. Read option again, hands it off, a cutback to the right, and Ivey fights his way inside the 30. Oh, it is Guest that got the call. He's back in there. And a carry down inside the 29. They'll spot it at the USF right just outside the 28-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. And we will not get another play off here before the end of this first quarter. Cougars will have a 7-0 lead as we head to the second quarter here in just outside Grand Rapids. I'm Joe Parson. Glad you could join us. You're listening to Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Life is a journey to God. We stumble, we get lost, we lose the light. The best way to navigate the journey is turning to the Catholic faith. Our daily life, spouse, children, neighbors, the stress of work and worry often lead us away from Christ. Whatever your trials, temptations, or tribulations, the Catholic faith is here. You can find the message of hope, trust, and conversion right here on Redeemer Radio. Welcome home to your family of faith.
7-0 ball game. Aaron Harris from 3 yards out at the 8:01 mark. The only score so far in this ball game, although Davenport beginning to put something together now. Getting ready for this first snap to begin this second quarter. It will be 2nd down and 7. Davenport now working from the USF 28-yard line. They've got 2nd down and 7. Looks like William Guest is back in there as the running back. He's offset flank to the right of quarterback Hunter Kraus. Kraus out of the gun. Looking, he wants to throw. Rolls to his right side. He's got a low ball that's caught. Let's see if they rule that a catch by Durante Powers. And they do rule it a catch. That is short of the first down at about the 22-yard line. Short by about a couple of yards. Green in that first quarter, 7 carries, 23 yards. Ferrer was 3 of 7 for 61 yards. And Seth Coate 2 catches for 51. Now it's 3rd down and a short 2. Guest stays in as the running back, flanked to the left of Hunter Kraus. Blitz cone showing defensive left side. They'll run the ball, angled run to the right. Let's see if they got to the spot. It looks like they're marking him short. So it'll bring up 4th down and still about a yard. It'll be 4th down. They call it no gain. A lot of new numbers checking in. T.C. Wells, 6'2", wide out, comes in wide to the left side. 2 protectors are in. So Kraus out of the shotgun formation, 1 wide to the left. On 4th down, they want to run the ball, and they're not going to get there, I don't believe. It's to the 22, and the Cougars stop them on 4th down. So a big stop for USF. Cougar defense, well, it wasn't a goal line like a couple of weeks ago, but this was important as St. Francis takes over the football 1st and 10 at the USF 22-yard line with 13:37 remaining in this second quarter. So we'll see Nick Ferrer bringing the Cougar offense back onto the field. Connor Holcomb will check into the game on the offensive line now this series. Alex Wood stays out there at left tackle. And it might be P.J. Dean, and there's the running back. We'll check that for you. Here's the play action fake as Ferrer wants to throw. Now looking down for Coates. Coates got a step. He's got the ball at the 40. Steps out of a tackle. He's going to go inside the 10 to the 5, and a touchdown for Seth Coate if it stands up. And that would be a 78-yard touchdown strike from Nick Ferrer to Seth Coate, and it does stand up to make it 13-0. Boy, Coate, they had him by the shoestrings just briefly. So a 1-play scoring toss at the 13:25 mark. And the Cougars on the board once again with that long-distance scoring strike. Ferrer to Seth Coate, legging out the final 35 yards into the end zone. Good for 72 yards in all and a touchdown for USF. One of the big keys, Nick Ferrer had time in the pocket. Now the extra point attempt is on the way, and that is going to be good. And the Cougars extend their lead here early in this first half. 14-0 over Davenport. We'll step out for 30 seconds. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Think of Briscoe Dentistry for your family's dental care. Dr. Todd Briscoe and team know that your body is more than just teeth and gums. Your oral health affects the performance ability of your entire body. And on the field or court, you want your body to perform at its best. So trust Dr. Briscoe and team to provide the ultimate in preventative, periodontal, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry. To optimize your body's performance, contact Dr. Briscoe at 260-486-9950 or on the web at briscoedentistry.com.
So the Cougars, after the fourth down stop, one play, one touchdown. 78 yards, by the way, on the scoring strike. In all, on from Ferrer to Seth Coate. So Coate comes in. Big catch, and using that 6'3" frame to leg out the final 35 yards into the end zone. Now the Cougars will kick it away. Charles Gaston is out, member of the kickoff coverage unit. Back in kick return, Rashawn O'Neal along with Nate Couturier. They wait inside the 10. We'll see what kind of distance Nix is able to get. Line drive, got good distance near side. That'll be taken inside the 5 at the 2. Near side return across the 20, 25. Good return and tripped up out across the 35. And that was Keon Powers at 4 kickoff returns last week along of 32. And this one will have Davenport in good field position, 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Glad you could join us. Beautiful sunny day. Temperature at kickoff about 57 degrees here in Michigan, West Michigan. And expected to reach into the low 60s. Could not ask for better weather here in November. Hunter Kraus still in there at quarterback now. He's got motion left to right. Now they reverse it back to Couturier. Handoff, it goes, and here's a quarterback keeper. Play on the read option across the 40 goes Hunter Kraus. Reaches his own 41. They're going to give him another yard out to the 42. It'll be a gain of 4. Kraus with 54 carries on the year starting the day, 182 yards. Had 8 carries against St. Joe Rensselaer last week for 14 yards. And now we have another timeout with a Panther down. We'll keep things right here. And want to let you know about historic St. Felix Catholic Center, now open for retreats. They are located in Huntington, Indiana on 30 scenic acres with plenty of recreational areas and a serene Blessed Mother Grotto. St. Felix Catholic Center is the perfect location for a single day of prayer and overnight retreats. Former home of the venerable Solanus Casey. Come visit today. Plan your visit at sfcatholiccenter.com. Still working on the injured Panther down at about the 40-yard line. Second Panther with some difficulties so far today. Well, we can tell you that's a single digit down there. We'll try to get a number when we can. We had 13:05 remaining. No, it's going to be Caleb Mayers, one of the offensive linemen. 6'4", redshirt freshman, 310-pounder. By the way, this offensive line starting today for Davenport, they are huge. They average 306 a man, tackle to tackle. Shane Shannon at center. He's a 300-pound redshirt freshman. Mayers, who will, they'll put him on a cart, although he climbs on under his own power, just for precautionary purposes. He is 310, as we mentioned. Max Kalmine, 6'5", 304 at right tackle. Jake Zola, 302, 6'2". He's the left guard. And Najee Brown, who's 6'4", and the biggest of the lot at 315, and basically all redshirt freshmen. So they will make a change, but it'll be 2nd down and 6. Davenport here at home, trailing at 14-0. And moving from left to right. Kraus in that first quarter was 3 of 5 through the air for 23 yards. Now motion by Powers left side, read option, and taken off tackle run. And boy, that's a power run. Not often that you run over Spencer Coward. gain will be across the 45 to the 46. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 once again. And now St. Francis, they've had already one 4th down stop in this ball game, trying to get another to get the ball back and protecting this 14-0 lead. Panthers trying to reach midfield on this snap. Check it. They'll try to reach their own 48. They've got the ball at their 46. 1-2 wide to the right side for Davenport now. And here's the read option and throw to the right side. They got a wide open grab. That's good for the 1st down. Big Wilmer Cole had the coverage, but a big gap applied, given to the receiver. And that was Durante Powers on the catch. They'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at the USF 45-yard line. Well, you always kind of hate to see that, playing well off the receiver, especially on 3rd down in short situations. But a new set of downs for Davenport. Now they're at the Cougar 45-yard line. 2 protectors in, read option. Here's looking to throw over the middle, and that's wide and incomplete. Looking for Couturier in the middle. Our check it, Powers, Keon Powers, 5'8", 165-pound redshirt freshman out of Wayne. Incomplete pass, stops the clock with 11:41 remaining in the half and brings up 2nd down and 10. Cougars with the deep umbrella, cover 2 back there with Lee Stewart. And let's see, that should be Jerome Holman back there, and I believe it is. Blitz coming defensive left side. As they run the left side, and a good, there's Pearson Harnish sliding out with some help from Spencer Cowards to stop for a short gain. William Guest was the ball carrier, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Guest able to pick up a couple of yards. Guest in that first quarter had 8 carries for 30 yards. Now they try to reach the USF 35 on this snap. Let's see how the Cougar cornerbacks play it. Cole's got the coverage near side on Durante Powers. Coming up a little bit more now, and press coverage by USF to the outside. Motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage once again as Krause pump fake, looks, screens the ball, middle of the field. And do they have the 1st down? They do. Second effort got him to the USF 35. Middle screen that time. Pearson Harnish came up and made the stop, but not before. Guest on the catch came out of the backfield, and they'll move the chains 1st and 10 with 10:45 remaining. St. Francis won the toss, deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Right now holding on to a 14-0 lead as we approach 10.5 minutes time remaining here in this first half. Durante Powers part of the 2 wide combination, wideouts to the left side. And here is Hunter Krause once again looking to hand the ball off, and a curl play up the middle. Cougars catch him from behind. Let's see who that was. I believe it was Christian Johnson that caught him from behind, but still it's going to be a gain of 4 yards. Down to about the 31-yard line is where they spot it of St. Francis. Well, the ball carrier that time, Guest, is bent over and is going to come out now. And let's see if they're going to bring Mike Ivey back in as the running back. 2nd down and 6. Krause looking, rolls to his left side, buys time, looking, throws to the corner, and that ball tipped in the air, incomplete. Good coverage coming across. Let's see if that was Holman that came across and knocked that ball away. They were trying to get the ball to Durante Powers once again. But good safety help by Holman it was. That came across and tipped that ball away. Kind of hung in the air, but went towards the end zone, and no harm, no foul. It's going to be a 3rd down call once again for Davenport coming up. Trying to reach the USF 25-yard line. This time they need 3rd down and 6. 1 wide again, either side of the field. 2 to the short side now. And the Cougars playing off. And here is a run, then going nowhere that time as Sparks got in there with Dunton and stopped Ivy. They're going to lose yardage back outside the 32 to about the 33-yard line. So it'll bring up 4th down and 8. Well, Lou Esposito, their coach, has gambled earlier in this ball game and might be gambling now with the ball at the USF 33, trailing at 14-0. Play clock at 16. If I'm not mistaken, they brought in Skylar Sherlow, who's the backup quarterback. He's flanked to the left of Hunter Kraus. Blitz is coming. Play action fake. Here's the throw to the left side. A wide open grab for the first down, and for nobody near the receiver at the USF 20-yard line. Little clear out pattern was run to the far side. They'll move the chains, and new life for Davenport here with still over 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. They'll have 1st and 10 at the USF 21-yard line. Cougars were coming, but they could not get the Hunter Kraus in time. And everybody went deep, leaving that under area off into the left flats wide open for the catch in the first down. Now they work from the left side hash mark. Kraus with a protector into his left. Takes the snap, read option again, wants to throw. Looks back to the right side. Cougars have got good coverage, and that pass just sails. Cole had the coverage in the end zone. So that will stop the clock with 8:07 remaining now in the first half and bring up 2nd down and 10. Couturier, the intended receiver. Cole, though, had him step for step and was facing up, waiting for the ball that was overthrown and just sailed past everybody. 2nd down and 10. Again from the 21-yard line. From the left side hash mark, here is Kraus again. Looks, hands the ball off, leaning forward. That's a gain to the 20. Sherlow is the backup quarterback, but carries. He had 2 carries last week for 4 yards. So just 16 carries now on the year for that 6-foot sophomore. And that'll bring up 3rd down and still about 10. They've got to get to the USF right about the 12-yard line on this snap. Cougars have had 1 4th down stop already today. They lead it 14-0. Here's Kraus again, ready to take the snap. He wants to throw. Looks to the left corner. He's got a man. No, that's intercepted at the goal line by Holman. Holman falls down, and USF will have the ball on 4th down. He might have been wise just to bat it down. As it is, St. Francis has the interception. It's good news, bad news. Good news, you get the ball, but you've got it at your own 2-yard line. That was a 4th down play. They would have the ball up around the 21, 22-yard line. As it is, St. Francis has their first interception of the day by Jarrell Holman, and they will take over at the Cougar 2-yard line. Nose of the football will be just inside the Cougar 2. So Nick Ferrer is going to go over to Holman and say thanks, but no thanks. Wish you would have just knocked it down. Saved me about 20 yards. So the Cougars have got to be careful here. Normally you see Aaron Harris in these kind of situations. Remember a couple of weeks ago in that key series against Robert Morris. Had the ball even deeper into Cougar territory. Blitz coming up the middle, being showed by Davenport. Here's a run off to the right tackle and a gain out to somewhere around the 4 or 5 yard line, and maybe just across the 5. They'll spot the ball at about the 6. So USF getting a little bit more breathing room. Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot that ball. Well, it's actually in just across, nose of the football outside the Cougar 5. 6:46 remaining in the first half. Clock moving, quick moving ball game. Once again, they'll pitch the ball to the right side, and not much there. St. Francis gets maybe another yard or 2 to bring up 3rd down. Nicodemus took the pitch, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 4 for St. Francis, trying to get the ball out to their own just about the 13-yard line. So Davenport hoping for a stop that would give them good field position still with, they'll have just over 5 minutes if they would get the ball potentially. Let's see what the Cougar coaching staff come up with this. Seth Coates in wide to the near side. They've got Single coverage on him once again. Now they shift over and they've got double coverage on Seth. Third down and long. Ferrer drops the throw. Looks. Throws over the middle, and there's a catch. And they've got a first down all across the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line. Sean Boswell. Good throw, and the key was Ferrer had time in the pocket to allow Boswell the clear in the middle. And very good field position now at the 32-yard line for St. Francis on the move. Now trying to manage the clock with 5:40 remaining and trying to extend their 14-0 lead. They spot the ball in the middle of the field. Here's a handoff and a run to the right side. Green gets out of one tackle, comes to the 40-yard line and hit. Was there a delayed flag on that one? Not seeing one. Boy, that one looked like it came well out of bounds on the St. Francis side of things. But no, our referee, Brian Earl, just winds the clock and they play on. No harm, no foul. But St. Francis now with a 1st and 10 at the Cougar 43-yard line. Green stays in as the running back. One wide either side. Stretch handoff again. Green cuts it up. Second level to midfield. 45. Cuts to the outside. 40-yard line. And he'll step out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Justin Green exercising some good judgment. Picks up valuable big real estate for St. Francis on that carry. Back-to-back carries, in fact. And now it's 1st and 10 suddenly at the Davenport 33-yard line. We'll see if St. Francis stays with the run offense right now with Green. Has been very productive the last couple of carries. Nicodemus in motion, left to right. And they'll give to Green again. Starts left, gets by one, tripped up, then dropped at the 31. That'll be a gain of a couple down to the 31-yard line by Justin Green. 3 straight calls for number 17, Justin Green. 186-pound sophomore, 5'10". Ran for over 1,000 yards a year ago for St. Francis. Yardage has been a little tougher to be had this season for all this group of fine ball carriers. But the Cougars have been able to compensate with a strong air attack. Nick Ferrer came in averaging over 300 yards a ball game through the air, the second best in the MSFA. Motion again, right to left behind the line of scrimmage. As they had play action fake, here's Ferrer wanting to throw, loads up, throws to the right side. There's the tip ball and incomplete. That time intended for Seth Coate, but it hung up and to the near side. The wind caught that. In fact, Davenport had a hand on the ball, tipped it in the air, but it falls incomplete to bring up 3rd down and 8. That'll stop the clock now with 3:55 remaining in this first half. Cougars huddle up for the moment. Rocky James into the ball game, split wide to the right side. 2 wide in the spread offense either side for St. Francis. Trying to reach to the 23-yard line. Here's Ferrer, throws to the right, got a catch at the 20-yard line. Spin move, falling down is James. But he'll have a first down for St. Francis, 1st and 10 at the Davenport, right about the 23, maybe the 22-yard line. They will put the ball down squarely at the 22-yard line, so St. Francis keeping the drive alive now. Clock shows 3:40 time remaining in this first half. They'll run the ball now, and that may be P.J. Dean maybe getting a yard to the 21. That is P.J. Dean. Last week with 12 carries for 38 yards, averaged just over 3 yards a carry. Picks up 1, 2nd down and 9. Coate now and Boswell, they leave the lineup. Nate Carson will check in on this 2nd down call. Nicodemus is in along with Rocky James. Nicodemus on the right wing. James is split to the short side to the right. 2 wide to the left. Here comes the blitz as Ferrer looks, dodges one, has to throw it away. Well, they had pressure on him that time. Nicodemus was the intended receiver. That basically was a throwaway. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Obviously, very much in 4-down yardage area if you elect not to try Nix with a field goal. Boswell is trying to come into the game, but they motion him back to the sidelines. So So 3rd and 9. Cougars can pick up a first down at the 8-yard line. Blitz coming, defensive right side once again as Ferrer looks, throws, screens the ball, and that's in and out of the hands. Nicodemus tried to turn before he really had the ball secured. Let's see if there's a penalty flag down there on the far side as well. Brian Earl, our referee. Let's see if we can pick up what the call may be. Officials conferring. Was 3rd down and 9. Penalty was illegal shift, the call against Rocky James. That's declined. Will bring up 4th down. And we'll see if Nix now will come on to attempt the field goal, and I believe he will. Nix 1 for 1 in field goals last week, had a 22-yarder. Or check it. It looks like they're going to run a play. It'll be 4th down and 9. Play clock at 16. Coke comes back in wide to the left side. He would be your first thought as far as intended receiver. Here's Ferrer looking to throw the fade, looking, and boy, they had a hand, and there's got to be a penalty flag. Boy, the side judge, who had a perfect view of it, did not throw a flag, but the head linesman did. They had a coat. And I believe that ball is going to be overthrown anyway, but they had a piece of Colt's shoulder to slow him up. Let's see how it's going to be ruled. Every official's coming in once again to discuss it. Now here comes Brian Earl as well. They picked up the flag. And let's see, now there's also one down at the 1-yard line. 5 officials are in there in the discussion. By the way, we have 2:41 remaining. Brian Williams is called for the hold, defensive holding. It'll be 1st down for St. Francis. Williams had 7 tackles to lead them last week, a sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss against the Pumas of St. Joe. Now they'll set the ball down at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, St. Francis at the 8 with 2:41 on the clock. And a new set of downs to work with. Ferrer's got Green back out there as the running back, I believe. And 2 wide to the left side. Motion now, Nicodemus right to left. They'll look that way. Nicodemus has got the catch at the 5, trying to get to the pylon. He's out of bounds, did he? And another penalty flag thrown. That might be a face mask against Davenport. Boy, Cougars thought they had a score as Nicodemus was reaching for the pylon. I don't think they have acknowledged the touchdown, but the flag will check that as well. And I believe we're going to get 4 officials grouped in one area and 2 more in another. It is a touchdown. That will be an 8-yard touchdown from Ferrer to Nicodemus at the 2:34 mark. There was a face mask. That'll be enforced on the kickoff. So Nix on to attempt to try to make it a 21-0 lead. And the extra point attempt is up and good. So let's take a timeout here in Caledonia, Michigan. St. Francis, number 4, ranked in the NAIA, on top, 21-0 here late in this first half. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Tri-State Warehousing is one of the most complete service-oriented companies in the warehousing field today. Located in Fort Wayne, Tri-State Warehousing is a 50,000 square foot dry and temperature-controlled storage facility, serving 2/3 of the continental U.S. with overnight rail service. The dedicated staff and specialty services of Tri-State Warehousing are known throughout the industry. For great things in store, call Tri-State Warehousing, 260-436-2010. That's 260-436-2010.
Nick Ferrer with his second touchdown toss of the day. First to Nicodemus. Jason Nicodemus getting into the end zone. That's his second touchdown catch of the year. And the Cougars increase their lead now here on the road at 21-0. Well, they've had some good defense that have paved the way to the offense. They had a 4th down stop that set the stage for a one-play 78-yard Ferrer to Sutcote touchdown. And then the interception by Jarrell Holman gave them possession at their 2, and ultimately setting up this 8-yard touchdown from Ferrer to Jason Nicodemus. Now the Cougars will kick off from midfield. 2:34 remains. And Nix, got to believe he'll put this one out of harm's way, certainly. And Pucha's at far side. And that's into an open area, and that's caught at the 12-yard line. Return left side across the 25 to the 25. And Couturier works his way up. It'll be 1st and 10. Did he reach the 30? He did, apparently. They're going to give him a spot all the way up around the... No, they'll bring it back. Officials were all grouped around the 33, but they now walk it back to about the 28. So Davenport's offense with 2:29 remaining in the first half will send the offensive unit back onto the carpet below. T.C. Wells into the game as a wide out to the left side. They've got 3 wide to the right, including Herman Brunis. Trips package here to the near side. And a one-back look, shotgun formation for Kraus. Now he's got Keon Powers in motion. Looks in the middle, he's got Powers, but he's that time, I tell you, that's got to be Harnish. It was. Pearson Harnish. Fool me once, but not twice. Pearson Harnish was there, sniffed that one out easily, and Powers is brought down after a yard gain only. Now they're going to take a timeout, I believe, with 2:20 remaining. It'll be 2nd and 9 when we return to Michigan. 21-0 St. Francis late in this first half. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hello, sports fans. This is Father Bob Garrow, chaplain at Bishop DeWanger High School. It is time to get geared up for our fall sports season. Whether competing on the soccer field, golf, or cross-country course, volleyball court, or on the gridiron, we wish good luck and great sportsmanship to all our student athletes and their teams. May we become the saints we are called to be. Saint Sebastian, pray for us.
Same formation, 3 wide to the right. Panthers have got it 2nd and 9 at their 29. Rolled to the right by Kraus, looking, and that's picked off, and that's going to be taken by Eric Dunton as they'll bring it inside the 15-yard line down to the 11. And I said it was Marcus Stepp on the pick. Marcus Stepp with the interception. The Cougars, their 2nd of the first half, and they'll be in business again, knocking on the door at the Panther 11-yard line. So Holman intercepted at the 2, set up a touchdown. Now it's Stepp with the interception. And 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Let's see if Davenport has called another timeout. The Cougar offense is coming out onto the field. No, they just wanted to have a chat. Coaches with their defensive unit. And Ferrer will come out with his team leading it 21-0. 2 interceptions. Remember, Kraus had been picked off only 7 times this season. Gegner back in motion. They'll hand the ball off, and here is that P.J. Dean carry. Got to the 10 and brings it another couple of yards down to the 8-yard line. Went through the B gap to the left side. Brian Gegner trying to open up a hole for him from his center position. And where they will spot that ball down just outside the 7, in fact. So a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Minute 44 on the clock. It is moving. Cougars scored once in the first quarter, 2 more aerial touchdowns in the second quarter. Keem Kelsall is in wide to the right side, McDowell wide to the left. Davenport showing blitz right side, and here's P.J. Dean, and he's upended back around the 10. Good driving tackle in there that time. That was Nick Trollian, one of the outside linebackers, who had 5 tackles last week, knifed in there. So the loss brings up 3rd and 9. Clock is down to 1:06, still moving. 3rd down and 9. Cougars trying to take as much time off the clock, either score or try to bring on Nix for the field goal attempt. Ball is squarely at the 10-yard line now. They can pick up a 1st down at about just inside the 2 at the 1. They'll work from the left side hash mark. P.J. Dean stays in as the running back. Blitz coming again, defensive right side, play action fake. Here's Ferrer being pursued, rolling to his right, throws the ball away. And hit again. Boy, they look Brian Earl's way, and he just looks at the football where it landed on the throwaway, not at the play on the tackle against Nick Ferrer. So it'll bring up 4th down now. And the Cougars look like they want to run a play. Oh, there was a penalty. Did not see a flag down. It's half the distance. Maybe one of the other officials, Brian Earl is picking up a flag. And when we looked, he was not even looking at the play. He was looking at where the football was landing, but it'll be 1st and goal. St. Francis at the 5 with 33 seconds remaining in the half. Cougars still huddled up with 17 on the play clock. Kelsaw, McDowell. They're sent wide to the right. Coat is in there tight to the left, I believe. Nicodemus lined up on the wing behind him. Motion now right to left. Counter run by Dean, and now the throw, and they've got Kelsaw wide open on the near side. So it'll be a 5-yard touchdown, and P.J. Dean took the block and gave Ferrer just enough time. So 5 yards on the scoring touch, the 3rd of the ball game by Ferrer. So the Cougars take advantage of the interception by Marcus Stepp, and at the 28-second mark, they will add another score to their lead to make it now 27-0. Ferrer, his 3rd touchdown toss of the game, and Keem Kelsaw on the receiving end. Nix now on to attempt the extra point. Right-footed kick, deep enough again. Is it on target? It is. That'll make it 28-0 for the 4th-ranked Cougars, and we'll take another timeout here in Michigan. Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Amore's Pizza proudly supports Catholic sports. Try our Chicago-style stuffed pizza made with top-quality meats and cheeses. Your mouth will taste the difference. We also offer gluten-free options or many unique items. Amore's Pizza is located at 933 East DuPont Road, right off Coldwater. Full menu and specials can be found at amorespizza.net or call 490-9099. Amore's Pizza, where our food is made with love.
Well, the Cougars today on the road had to be a little bit concerned about going against this young, inexperienced Davenport team. But the Panthers came in with 6 wins on the year, and against Mid-States Football Association opponents, just 1 and 2, but they played everybody tough. 4 of their games have been decided by 7 points or fewer. But today, USF with good balance between offense and defense. They've had 1 4th down stop. They've had 2 interceptions. And offensively, Aaron Harris with a touchdown run and 3 Nick Ferrer touchdown tosses. 28-0 St. Francis. Still 28 seconds before halftime. Now the kickoff. Nix will tee it up again from his own 35-yard line. Couturier is back deep in kick return. Kick is pooched to the far side. This will be caught at the 22-yard line. Straight ahead carry across the 30 to about the 32. That leaves just 24 seconds on the clock. And we'll see that Panther offense back on the field now for at least 1 more snap. They'll give them a spot at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Looks like William Guest has checked back in as the running back. He'll be flanked to the left side, or check it to the right of quarterback Hunter Kraus. Kraus from the left side hash mark, looking to Guest on the read option. Straight ahead carry across the 35. Guest goes to about the 37. So that's a gain of about 5. We're down to 12 seconds. And we'll see if Panthers get another playoff here. We're down to 5, and they're still standing around, and I believe that is going to end this first half. It will. So St. Francis, very impressive. As we mentioned, both offensively and defensively, the Cougars on the road. Impressive fashion here today. So far, after 30 minutes, they lead it in Michigan 28-0. We'll be coming back for our halftime presentation. We'll look at the scoring and much more when we return to Caledonia, Michigan. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. This is Cougar Football on the road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend, and diamonds are forever. And since 1988, Peter Franklin has been bringing you the finest diamonds imported from overseas diamond cutters. Peter Franklin Jewelers. Jewelry created from concept to completion by our master goldsmiths on staff. Peter Franklin Jewelers, with 3 locations to serve you: New Haven, DuPont Road, and Angola. Remember, it's not just jewelry, it's Peter Franklin.
Redeemer Radio gladly thanks Dr. Mark Stoner, a St. Jude parishioner, for underwriting a portion of our programming. Dr. Stoner offers comprehensive dentistry for every family member. Dr. Stoner can be found at 9830 Auburn Road. For more information regarding all your dental needs, it can be found on the web at markstonerdds.com or at 260-484-4181.
It's the Halftime Report with scores, stats, and insights. Here's Joe and the sports team.
Cougars in the lead here at halftime in Michigan, 28-0. Glad you could join us here on just a spectacular day here in early November in Michigan, West Michigan, just about 30 miles north of Kalamazoo and just on the outskirts of Grand Rapids is where we're at here today. Beautiful complex, $100 million they've invested in this Farmers Insurance Athletic Complex. We were talking before kickoff. You look out and obviously just a great football field setup. This is their first year for football, and they will move to NCAA Division II in the GLIAC Conference next year. But looking out over the end zone, or the sidelines, I should say, a baseball field that really kind of looks like a microcosm of Parkview Field. And to the left of us, as we look at a softball field that is equally very nice. So they have expended a lot of dollars here in this marvelous facility. Back to football. Let's take a look at the line score of the ball game. At the end of the first quarter, the Cougars had a 7-0 lead, and now they've bunched 21 points more in the second quarter to lead at 28-0 here after the first 30 minutes. Cougars won the toss, deferred, and would take over the football and would set up a 3-yard Aaron Harris touchdown run at the 8:01 mark to make it 7-0. That was all the scoring in that first 15 minutes. Then the Cougars, with a 4th down stop, would get the ball back at the 22. That would set up a 1-play touchdown pass, 78 yards to Nick Ferrer, his first touchdown of the game, and finding who else? Number 11, Seth Coate, who legged it out the final 35 yards into the end zone. Nick's been perfect today, 4 for 4 in extra points. He made it 14-0. Then Holman on a 4th down play intercepts the ball at the Cougar 2. Good news, bad news. It was 4th down. All he's got to do is knock the ball down. St. Francis would have had it at the 22. As it was, they get the ball back, but at the 2-yard line. But ultimately, all's well that ends well. Ferrer would find Nicodemus in the right corner in the flats. He would run into the end zone from 8 yards out. 2:34 the time of the score. Cougars with the Knicks extra point made it 21-0. Then Marcus Stepp would step in front of a Hunter Krause pass, and he would set up the Cougars at the 11-yard line. A penalty would give them the ball half the distance to the goal, and a 5-yard Ferrer touchdown toss to Akeem Kelsaw. 5 yards on the scoring toss with 28 seconds remaining would make it 28-0 USF, and that's where we are here at the half. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with more of our halftime presentation. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
The Midwest goes by many names. The Heartland, the Corn Belt, the Crossroads of America. But for you, it has another, more important one: home. It stands for the simple things: family dinners, baseball games, and long country drives with the windows down. bonfires, barbecues, and ice cream cones on a Sunday afternoon. And it stands for the values that make all of these things possible. You've built your life around Midwestern values. At Midwest America Federal Credit Union, we have too. That's why we've dedicated ourselves to supporting our members as they work toward their dreams. As your hometown financial partners, we offer practical, dependable service. And since 1936, hardworking families have trusted us to help them with their most important purchases, from mortgages to auto loans and everything in between. Midwest America Federal Credit Union, for your home, for your family.
Joe Parson with you on this sunny afternoon here in Michigan, and the Cougars with a comfortable lead right now at halftime, 28-0. Want to remind everybody, Bishop Luers High School is a Catholic educational community that instills in each student dignity, integrity, respect, and responsibility. Catch the Luers spirit. Go to their website at www.bishopluers.org. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Let's start with some of the team numbers. Cougars, get this, they have 12 first downs compared to 7 by Davenport in this first half. Cougars have run the ball 16 times for 71 yards. Davenport 19 carries for 53 net. Cougars are 8 of 16 for 50% through the air. Davenport 8 of 15, but they've had 2 interceptions. Total offense for St. Francis in the first half, 32 plays for 261 yards. Davenport 31 plays executed for 111. Looking at some of the other numbers, Spidnail's been called upon 1 time, 1 punt for 39 yards. And meanwhile, Davenport twice has punted for an average of 34.5 yards. Cougars have been penalized 1 time for 15 yards. That came, though, on a 3rd down call when they had to stop. And meanwhile, as far as penalties for Davenport, four flags for 33 yards. Cougars are 4 of 7 in 3rd down conversion opportunities. Davenport is 3 of 8. And Davenport is the only team to go for it on 4th down. They are 1 of 2. Cougars 3 for 3 today so far in the red zone. Let's take a look at the Panther rushing individually here in the first half. Guest has 13 carries for 45 yards. Not a bad effort by that young man. Hunter Kraus with 3 carries for 9 yards. Kyler Sherlow has 3 carries for negative yardage. For St. Francis, Justin Green, 10 carries, net 60. So he's averaging 6 yards a carry. Aaron Harris, 2 yards for 7. That includes a touchdown. P.J. Dean has 3 carries for net 2 yards. And Jason Nicodemus, 1 carry for 2. As far as Hunter Kraus, through the air, 8 of 15, 58 yards. He's got a long today of 12 yards. He's got no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He came in, as we mentioned, starting the day with just 7 interceptions on the day, so 2 already in the first half. No sacks by either team. Ferrer, 8 of 16 for 50%, 190 passing yards by Nick in the first half, 3 touchdowns, and a long of 78 yards. As far as the receiving, Durante Powers is tied with Keon Powers, each of them with 3. Durante Powers out of Snyder High School, 26 yards, a long of 12. Keon Powers out of Wayne, 3 for 21 and a long of 12. Guest has 1 catch for 8. Caddy Ewing 1 for 3. Seth Code leads the Cougars with 3 catches for 129. That includes the 78-yard touchdown pass play combination. Sean Boswell has 1 for 24. Rocky James 1 for 14. Monte McDowell 1 for 10. And, of course, we know Akeem Kelsall has that late 1 for 5 yards and a touchdown. Spitnail has punted once for 39 yards. Hunter Kraus has punted once for 34. And Patrick Gregory once for 35. Nate Couturier has 1 punt return for 17 yards. Lee Stewart 1 punt return for St. Francis for 6 yards. And we'll take a look at some of the defensive numbers here when we return to Michigan. 28-0 is our halftime score. Let's again step out for a 1-minute timeout. And this is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Are you looking for an orthopedic specialist? Ortho Northeast has been serving the community for over 50 years with offices in 3 convenient locations. Look for the location nearest you. Dr. John Pritchard is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon with 20 years of experience with OME and can assist you with the best treatment plan for your knee or shoulder pain. Dr. John Pritchard is looking forward to meeting you and helping with all orthopedic needs. Call Dr. Pritchard at 260-484-8551 or visit the web at www.orthone.com. Life is a journey to God. We stumble, we get lost, we lose the light. The best way to navigate the journey is turning to the Catholic faith. Our daily life of spouse, children, neighbors, the stress of work and worry often lead us away from Christ. Whatever your trials, temptations, or tribulations, the Catholic faith is here. You can find the message of hope, trust, and conversion right here on Redeemer Radio. Welcome home to your family of faith.
Back in Michigan, I'm Joe Parson. Let's take a look at some of the individual defensive numbers. First for Davenport here. Dion Powers has a total of 4 tackles here in the first half. Brent Showers, one of the linebackers, with 4. Kai Black also with 4 tackles. T.J. Douglas with 3. They have no sacks, no tackles for loss. As far as St. Francis, they're not showing everything, but Pearson Harnish, get this, with 12 total tackles in the first half. Eric Dutton has 10. Spencer Coward with 6, and Kristen Johnson has 4. 28-0 here at halftime. Getting ready, some of the specialists for St. Francis coming back out. Bill Scott will be making his way down on the carpet, and we'll have some halftime comments we expect from Coach Kevin Donnelly coming up. You know, you look back at 19 years of Cougar football history, and the state of West Michigan in particular has really provided a lot of talent, especially back in the early days. And a couple of players come to mind, and it was a little DB by the name of Will Barnes out of this part of the country that pound for pound, a lot of the opposing coaches said he was the hardest hitter they had ever seen by a team playing against those opponents. So Will Barnes made his mark in Cougar history, and so did a young man by the name of Jeremy Dutcher, who played from 1998 through the 2000 season, 33 games. He averaged over 19 yards a catch, had 4,297 receiving yards on 225 catches. That will stand as a record that will be very, very tough to beat. You look, Coate has got, by the way, just for comparison, 147%. That does not include his receptions today for 2,684 yards, compared to Dutcher's 4,297. Cam Smith, who graduated last year, had 176 catches for 3,056 yards. So it gives you an idea of the record up in the ionosphere set by Jeremy Dutcher back in the very start of Cougar football. Well, we still have about 8 minutes waiting before the start of the second half. Cougars with an impressive second quarter, capitalizing on a couple of interceptions to set up touchdowns, and Nick Ferrer throwing 3 touchdowns, and the Cougars now in the lead here on the road at 28-0. Let's take another timeout. Let's make this a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back waiting for the teams to come back out and halftime comments coming up from Coach D when we return to Michigan. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
Programming on Redeemer Radio is underwritten in part by Bob Busher Homes. Floor plan customization is what they specialize in. Find floor plans, building sites, and read Bob's story on the web at bobbusherhomes.com. Bob Busher Homes is locally owned with offices in Fort Wayne and Angola. For more information about new home building or remodeling, Bob Busher Homes can be reached at 260-490-3355.
Well, looking at what's coming up for both these teams, actually, this is it as far as the regular season. Davenport, they will end their season in their inaugural year, and they will have technically a winning season. They came in today technically at 6-4, so even a loss if that lead by USF stands up, it would give the Panthers a 6-5 record on the season. Yeah, this is their inaugural year, and in comparing that, the 6th year, remember in 1998, the Cougars in their inaugural year had just 2 wins and both of those came on the road. As far as St. Francis, they will complete their regular season today. They are idle next week, and the expectation, the hope is that they will host a playoff game 2 weeks from today at Darcy Stadium at 12 noon. But we'll see what happens by the rest of the teams who do play in their regular season finales next week. As far as what's going on elsewhere today, in the MSFA, Marion is on the road in Joliet, Illinois, taking on USF Saints there. Concordia home to Missouri Baptist. Siena Heights, they're playing at Trinity International in the Chicago area. And Taylor is going to Lindenwood Belleville down by St. Louis. As far as the Midwest League, Robert Morris 3-0 in the West. They are at St. Xavier in Chicago at 3-1. Some of the coaches beginning to come out, so we'll be looking down. And with the expectation, we might be getting Bill Scott down there on the carpet with Coach Kevin Dowley. We'll just hang around here as now a lot of the coaches beginning to come out of the locker rooms bound down and to our left. So just a matter of moments as Davenport already out there with their halftime warm-ups. Well, this facility is just hard to imagine for a new program. $100 million they've invested in this complex here, the Farmers Insurance Athletic Complex. And we see Coach Doug Cote also coming out now, so just a matter of a few moments we'll be having the headman head back out on the carpet, and Bill Scott will see him making his way already down there into the corner. And we'll be picking up comments from the coach and Bill Scott, our sports information director, here coming up in a matter of moments. The Cougars beginning to file their way out.
Hey, Joe, we're talking to the guy you were just talking about, Jeremy Dutcher. Say hi to Joe, Jeremy.
How you doing, Joe? Nice to see you.
Doing well, buddy.
We're on the radio. What do you think of that first half for the Cougars?
Great first half. They came out a little slow to start out with, got their momentum going, and had a great time.
What do you think of the wide receiver, Seth Cote? I know you saw him playing on the field when he was about 4'2".
Yes, that was a long time ago. I've seen Seth when he was growing up. He's turned out to be one heck of a receiver. Had a great first half. He's got all the tools.
I think he learned a thing or two from you, watching you back in the day.
That's debatable.
What are you doing these days, Jeremy?
I'm sales manager here in Grand Rapids for Sharp BMW. I've been doing that I've been in the car business for the last 10 years.
All right. Well, there you go. Blast from the past, Joe. Thanks.
Sounds good. Jeremy Dutcher, the all-time leading receiver for University of St. Francis, and with Bill Scott. So we will not get comments from Kevin Dowley, but that's not too shabby. Tell you what a job, though. What a combination. Jeremy Hiblin, the Jeremy Square combination back from the early years, 1998 through 2000, just combined for, it used to be almost laughable that Hiblin had such confidence in the 6'4" receiver, Jeremy Dutcher, that didn't matter. They had double coverage, triple coverage. They would just throw the ball up, and JD would go up and get it. And just so memorable, so many memories. And, of course, went on. Jeremy Dutcher played in the Arena Football League with the Detroit Fury, then came over to our Rampage team here and came home in Grand Rapids and played for a year or two as well. So just a great career at St. Francis, and then on into the pros as well in the Arena Football League. Well, the Cougars will get the football first to begin things. They won the toss, deferred. And we will see how long that Coach Kevin Dowley will go with his starters here today. Remember, with a week off, sometimes that can work against you, though. Sometimes if you're clicking on all cylinders, especially offensively, in some ways you hate to miss a week. But in other regards, you like a little time to heal up as well. So let's see if Bill's going to try to get the coach anyway across the way. He may not be giving up on things. And I'll tell you what, if we can find him, let's go back over to Bill Scott. I don't know if he can see us from this distance, but if he wants to try, well, he's walking away. I think he gave up. I think Coach D said you missed your opportunity. The window has closed. That Coach D now is thinking, got his game face on. So we will as well. We still have about a minute before the teams get on the field here and begin this second half. Tell you what, if you don't mind, Robert Scorup, we'll steal from the second half. Let's take another quick 30-second timeout, and we'll get ready for the second half. 28-0 Cougars on the road. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
You can help support your Catholic parish or school with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union's Elevate program. You'll not only enjoy excellent personal service and save money with your new loan or credit card, you'll also be giving money back to the participating parish or school you care about. Let Notre Dame Federal Credit Union elevate all participating parishes or schools. Elevate can be reached at 844-230-6611 or visit us online at ndelevate.com. Independent from the university.
Justin Green is back deep in kick return. Green has had a long of 49 yards this year in kick returns. He's averaging 26 yards a return. That is second best in the MSFA. Here comes Davenport ready to kick the ball away from the 35. They go to Green, backpedaling. He'll take it inside the 5 of the 4 near sideline. Works to the hash mark, cuts middle of the field, works out of one tackle, crossed the 30, 35, spun around from behind. He got to the 42 and dropped there. Good return by Justin Green. It'll be 1st and 10. St. Francis with good field position, just short of their 45-yard line. So a good start for St. Francis on the kickoff return by Justin Green. They're going to move them back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. First snap of the second half coming up, 28-0 in favor of St. Francis here on the road. Coat into the ball game, wide to the left side. He's had that 78-yard pass play touchdown combination with Ferrer. 2 wide to the near side. Up in the slot is Kelsaw, also with a touchdown catch. They run the ball. Green, right side, trying to turn the corner. Little stop-and-go move. Gets him across the 45, up to about the, well, let's see if he stepped out of bounds around the 47. Now they're going to mark him down back at the 46. So Kodo had 3 catches, 129 receiving yards in the first half. And now they'll run Green again. Looking, he's got running room off the left side. He's all the way across the 45 of Davenport. Give him another yard down to the 44 and a first down for St. Francis. So some big holes early on for Justin Green. Now Aaron Harris will come onto the field. Nick Ferrer whispers something into the right ear of Aaron Harris. He's offset to the left, a little bit behind Ferrer. Now he might be changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. Still 19 on the play clock. Ferrer whispers also to Brian Gegner at center. Now he repositions Harris behind him. Motion by Gegner left to right. And they give to Harris. He runs that way and ran into a wall. They kind of telegraphed where that play was going. And no gain, maybe about a half a yard loss back to the 45-yard line. Well, they gave every indication the play was going to go that way. It would have been nice maybe to see a little something counter back to the near side. But it'll be second down. Let's call it 11. Ferrer out of the pistol now. Takes a look and wants to throw. Looks, loads, throws to the right side. Looking for McDowell. And it's off his fingertips, incomplete. He had about a half step in front inside the 10-yard line, and it becomes third down and 11. McDowell in the first half had 1 catch for 10 yards. But he's been a big factor in recent weeks. In fact, last week he had 4 catches for 149 through the air. 2 of them were good for touchdowns. Now they've got to reach the 34-yard line on this snap. Cougars were 4 of 7 on third down conversion opportunities in the first half. Rocky James in wide to the right side. Up in the slot to the right side is Kelsaw. Cote wide to the left. Cote has got single coverage once again. They're going to come with a safety blitz, and now what do we have? Official step in, a whistle, and St. Francis called a timeout. Ferrer didn't like what he saw. So that stops the clock with 13-14 remaining here early in this second half. 28-0 St. Francis. We'll be back in 30. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Readings and Reflections will soon become Redeemer Reflections. We're proud to continue partnering with our local priests and deacons to bring you meditations on the daily Mass readings, now airing regularly throughout the day. During a morning drive, at midday, on your way home from work or school. Can't make it to Mass? Need an extra chance to reflect? Listen for Redeemer Reflections weekdays at midday and during drive times or anytime online at redeemerradio.com.
By the way, a quick thought about Sherathon. It just wrapped up a successful fall campaign, we understand, and sincere appreciation and thanks to all those who gave, and again, making a very much large part everything that Redeemer Radio is able to accomplish as far as the programming and the games that come your way at the high school level. Now they come up in press coverage on the outside on 3rd and long, and Ferrer picks that up, short drop, looking, steps up and throws the ball. That was nearly picked off right in the middle. Not sure who that was for Davenport, but that'll bring up 4th down, and now the Cougars will punt the ball away. That could have been disastrous because Ferrer did not see the linebacker. Might have been Showers right in the middle, but it falls incomplete. And are we going to have another timeout? Apparently we are. We'll keep things right here. So the Cougars might be rethinking their strategy. Well, the teams are staying on the field, and we've not received an indication. It was unsportsmanlike conduct, the call against Brian Gegner. I'm not sure what that was about, whether something was said on the carpet, but it cost them 15 yards. Cougars were going to kick anyway, but this will back them up to their own 40-yard line with Spitnail, who punted one time in the first half for 39 yards. Normally, Couturier is back there. He had 2 punt returns last week against St. Joe Rensselaer along a 25. Spitnail waits for the snap at his own 27. High snap, got it, kick us away. Nice high hanging ball. They knock down Spitnail, takes a high bounce and out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. Boy, Spitnail's looking at the referee. Where is the flag? And there is none. Brian Earl just ran right by him, the referee, but Spitnail was knocked down. They did not get a hand on the ball. Nose of the football will be just inside the Davenport 25. Couturier in, he's wide to left. He did not have a catch in the first half. Came in, led them with 508 receiving yards to start the ball game. Cougars with 4 down defensive linemen now, and motion now right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Here's the quarterback in the read option. They'll run the ball off tackle and run across the 30 to the 32-yard line. William Guest getting the carry as he carried 13 times for 45 yards in the first half and picks up 7. So that offensive line, a big offensive line, averaging over 300 pounds, 306 in fact, able to get enough of a hole. Little curl play, run up the middle by William Guest. The 193-pound sophomore is 5'9". 2nd down and 3. 28-0 St. Francis had that lead at halftime. Here's Sparks trying to pinch in from the left side as Krause wants to throw the ball, and he's got a man out there, and the ball is caught. That was a good job by Herman Brunis. 6'1" junior timed his leap, took it away from Wilmer Cole. He waited till the last moment. It looked like Cole had very good field position on him. but they'll spot the ball at the USF inside the 30-yard line. It'll be first down for Davenport on the move now. And the hometown fans like that catch. That was a very good one. Now are they going to walk off more yardage? Everybody kind of looking around as far as the guys in stripes. Our referee, Brian Earl, is just now, and then he do walk off extra yardage. Getting kind of weird now. I'm not sure we got a call on that, but it'll be first. They'll take it to the 14 on the penalty. Never saw the indication, but a walk-off of 15 more yards. Now Kraus with the great position of his team. Shotgun formation again. On the reverse, they've got it then. No, he did try to pass that ball. They faked the handoff going to the left and faked the handoff coming back on the reverse. Kraus then trying to throw into the left flats, but incomplete. Couturier could not find the handle. Or check it, that was Powers. Keon Powers with the intended receiver. Well, you got to know that Keon and his brother Dion wanting to make some impact here against their hometown team, the University of St. Francis. Redshirt freshmen, the Twins, out of Wayne High School. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10 with a ball at the 14. Motion right to left, behind the line of scrimmage once again. Read option, they do hand the ball off, and an angle run down to the 10. Well, let's see if they got let's sort out those yard lines. It'll be a gain to the 14-yard line. Lucas Sparks is credited with the stop. So no gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. $11:25 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Kraus now going up and down the line and saying something to his offensive line. Got William Guest as the running back. He's offset to the right side. Kraus out of the gun. Looks, straight drop. Looks to the right side. Guns it in there. The catch is made inside the 10 to the 8. So they're short of the first down stick. And it'll bring up 4th down. Brunis again, who made that big catch that really ultimately set up this scoring opportunity on the receiving end again. Now it's going to be 4th down and 2. They spotted at the USF 6-yard line. 4th down and 2. Working from the right side hash mark. Here's Kraus again. Waiting for that snap, has got it. Does he hand it off? And Guest has stood up right at the line of scrimmage. And maybe gets to they did not get enough. And the Cougars, with their 2nd, 4th down stop of the ball game, deny them a first down opportunity. And the Cougars will take over the football deep in their own territory. But they will have the ball, looks like right at the St. Francis 5-yard line. But it remains a 28-0 ball game here with 10:27 remaining in this 3rd quarter. So the Cougars, who got the kickoff to start the 2nd half, saw their drive stalled. Now they'll take over. They're 95 yards away, but they lead 28-0. Trying to hold on to the football. Nicodemus will check into the game. Sets up on the left wing. One wide either side as Ferrer standing back right at the goal line now, ready to take the snap. Nicodemus in motion to the right. They'll run the ball. Harris and nudges across the 5, got to the 6 and out to the 7. So a couple of tough yards up the middle. And that'll keep the clock moving. Boy, are they going to mark him down with a loss? They do, with a loss back inside the 5. I thought he got it out across, but apparently from this angle, they mark it back at the 4. And that's because of that deep handoff. Right now, Davenport with 2 safeties back. They're up in press coverage on the outside with the corners. Again, a yard deep. Here's Ferrer. Looks, screens the ball near side. Turning upfield quickly and stepping out of bounds. That was Nicodemus. Now check it. Aaron Harris on that catch. He just flared out to the left wing, caught the ball, and got a lot of that yardage back. It still will bring up 3rd down, and a long 4. Cougars trying to get out to their own just across the 16-yard line, just short of the 17. McDowell wide to the right. And one wide to the near side as well. Cougars need about 5 yards on this snap. They pick up a new set of downs. Nicodemus in motion again. And stepping up, here's Ferrer. Escaped one, and now they've got him. The ball is free. And that one, let's see who came up with it. Cougars diving for it. And we'll wait and see how they unpile. Boy, Davenport had a shot, and then one of the linemen came in late and covered up on it for St. Francis, I think. It will be 4th down. So Ferrer got away from one, but as he was trying to scramble out to his right, got hit from the blind side. The ball squirted free, but the Cougars get it back, and that'll bring Spitnail on to punt the ball away. But that's a dodge and a bullet as the clock continues to move with 8:40 remaining now in this third quarter. There have been no scores either way. Couturier will set up and punt return just short of midfield, and now he moves up closer to midfield as Spitnail will be kicking right about the goal line. Let's see if they put a rush on. They've got 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. Spitnail waiting for the snap. He's got it, steps into it, got it away. Wobbly ball that hits at the USF 40, takes a Cougar bounce up the midfield at the 45, bounding around and touched right there. At the Davenport, that's touched by Lee Stewart. No, Charles Gaston touches the ball dead. And it will be Davenport ball with very good field position at the Panther 45. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Another opportunity with good field position for Davenport in their final game of their inaugural season in college football. As I mentioned, this is the 4th MSFA team that Davenport has played this year. They came in at 1-2. That one win came in Chicago against St. Xavier at 20-7 in early October. They were defeated here by Taylor University right at the start of the year. Shotgun formation again for Kraus. Read option, hands the ball off, and a second effort. Christian Johnson had a hand on him right at the line of scrimmage, could not bring him down, and Eric Dutton did have a hand in the tackle, but not until a gain of about 3, maybe close to 4 yards by Guest. Have not seen Mike Ivey into the ball game here in the second half. It'll be a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. 2 protectors now in. Either side of Hunter Kraus. Waits for the snap again. He's got it. Looks, wants to throw. After the throws into the flats, has got to catch near side at the 45 of USF. Turns and pivots. Coward came over along with Wilmer Cole. But they'll move the football down into Cougar territory, and they'll give them a spot of that ball at the USF 39-yard line. Couturier lines up to the near side. One wide either side. Durante Powers has had some catches wide to the left, and so has Brunis. Cougars show blitz by Lee Stewart. Now that backs off. They want to run the ball at the middle, and that'll be a gain down just short of the Cougar 35. They'll stop them at the 36. Straight ahead carry, quick hitting play. And again, the gain is about 3 yards. Keon Powers now checks into the ball game. And Powers waiting to know exactly, find out where he's going to be positioned in this snap. He will be sent wide to the left. Lines up in tandem. I believe that's Durante Powers lined up in front of him. Now Keon Powers in motion back to the right side. As here is a handoff and a quarterback keeper call. And right there on the spot was Eric Dutton to stop it for a short gain. Kraus carries inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. So it'll be 4th down, 3rd down I should say, 3rd down and 4 coming up for Davenport. Similar situations, they have tried to pass into the flats just across where they need to get to be for the 1st down. Let's see how the Cougars play it on the outside. T.C. Wells in wide to the far side. Guest checks back in as the running back. Play clock is down to 12. Still standing around. Now Now Davenport gets ready to run a play. 2 wide to the short side. In the slot is Keon Powers. No, it's Courier back in motion to the right side. Short drop. They look right, stepping up and looking and getting rid of the ball. That's a catch made inside the 30 at the 28. That'll be good for another first down. Fulmer came up, but still a good job of buying time enough. Hunter Kraus was under pressure, but throws complete for the first down conversion. Davenport much more effective now in this second half at keeping drives alive as they come up with some third down conversion calls. And they have another 1st and 10 now at the USF 27-yard line. Kraus waits, looks, play action fake, and he did hand the ball off. And USF is waiting right side. Boy, they thought that ball might have popped free, but just celebrating a big hit that time. Lee Stewart came up, and no gain. The stop was made right at the 27-yard line. Wells will come back to the ball game. T.C. Wells, a freshman, with 8 catches on the year, again wide to the left side. Guest is the running back in the 1-back set, 3 wide to the right. Ball is basically in the middle of the field. Here's now again Cougars kind of threaten the Cougar. There was movement at the line of scrimmage. Offensive left tackle move, Jake Zola. Let's see which way they're going to whistle it. Well, again, officials, everybody conferring. 4:14 remaining. They're going to call it defensive encroachment by USF. Well, Zola definitely came out of his stance, but he might have been induced. There have been a few, shall we say, questionable calls or no calls, especially on that when Spitnail was punting earlier, knocked down on the play. So, a 5-yard walk-off brings up 2nd down and 5. And they give the ball off on a off-tackle run to the right side. That'll be a gain down to the 19. William Guest again. Pearson Harnish gets off the bottom of the pile, joined by Spencer Coward. And 3rd down and just about a yard, a little over a yard remains on this call coming up. Eating a lot of time off the clock. We're down approaching 3.5 minutes time remaining in the 3rd quarter. There's been no score either way. 28-0 at halftime and still 28-0 here late in this 3rd quarter. Kraus out of the gun. Has the snap again. Does hand the ball off, straight ahead carry. They've got the 1st down inside the Cougar 15. That time the offensive line fired out in front. And Guest responds as he carries to the USF 14-yard line. Davenport looking for their first score of the day. They have not been shut out in any game this year. They have 6 wins. And here's Kraus again, wanting to hand the ball off. Sweeps coming to the right side, cutting up Guest inside the 10 to the 5 and down to the 4-yard line. Close to another 1st down. Looks like he might be just short. They're going to mark him down right at the 5 or right outside the 5. Guest took a hit. He's bent over again. We saw that in the first half. And still it bends over again. We're going to have a timeout called by St. Francis with 2:42 remaining in this 3rd quarter. It will be it'll be 3rd down and a yard when we return to Michigan. 20-0 our score, but Davenport on the door, driving. Cougar Football, Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Spherion Staffing, locally owned by the Pentenberg family, excels in finding the best candidates for industrial, clerical, customer service, non-clinical healthcare, IT, and professional direct hire placements. Spherion clients are accustomed to getting the right employees at the right time, every time. Spherion Staffing supports the proud excellence of the Dwenger Saints and the Lures Knights, both on the field and in the classroom. Whether you are seeking your next career move or searching for great employees, call us at 260-496-9900 or visit us on the web at spherion.com/FTWayne.
28-0 here. By the way, quick congratulations. It was a tough night for Bishop Luers and Bishop Dwenger, both losing out in their sectional championship bids last night, but nonetheless a great season of exciting football. And I know you enjoyed the coverage brought by Sean McBride and the gang each and every Friday night for both Bishop Luers and Bishop Dwenger. And now you'll wait until basketball in the offing and a new season. As my wife says, one ends and the other's already beginning. So it'll be 3rd down and a yard. Kraus with the running back offset. That's Kyler Sherlock. Calls his own number, rolls the shoulder, and looks like he's got it. Pearson Harnish came across but couldn't stop the forward momentum. It'll be 1st and goal as Davenport looks for their first points on the board today. See where they're going to spot that ball, just outside the 2-yard line. Sherlow, the backup quarterback, Skylar Sherlow, in there. He's flanked to the left side, and they'll give the ball to him. Looks to cut it up the middle. Did he get into the end zone? No indication. Yes, he did. So Sherlow from 2 yards out. And finally something for the Davenport crowd to cheer about at the 2:14 mark. Sherlow with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year, 2 yards out. Time of the score, 2:14. So the shutout is averted. And now the left-footed kick, extra point by Patrick Gregory, who has 30 conversions this year. He was 2 for 2 last week in the loss to St. Joe Rensselaer. High snap, got it down, blocked at the line of scrimmage. That will go into the end zone, and that will end that. But it is 28-6. So the Panthers on the board, and we'll take another break. This is Cougar Football on the Road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hello, I'm Tom Steele with Tom Steele Tire and Auto Repair, a family-owned business for over 35 years. We carry all major brands of new tires as well as a large selection of quality used tires to save you money. We do all types of auto repairs, be it brakes, alignment, or just fix your air conditioning. Tom Steele Tire, North Clinton or Illinois Road. Give us a try. You'll be glad you did.
Well, back in Michigan, the Cougars have yet to score in the second half. Davenport now on the board on the 2-yard touchdown run up the middle by Skylar Sherlow, who was the backup quarterback for Davenport. Gregory's extra point kick was blocked at the line of scrimmage, so 28-6 is our score. It'll be interesting now, how do the Cougars respond, because we've got a lot of time remaining in the entire 4th quarter, still 2:14 yet in this 3rd quarter. And will they kick deep to Justin Green? Davenport getting the go-ahead signal. And here comes Gregory with a kickoff, end over end down the middle. Looking into the sun, Green back pedals, drop the ball, goes into the end zone, brings it out to the 5, looking for running room, gets by 1, cuts across the 15 to the 20, near side 30, 35-yard line, and out of bounds steps Justin Green up around the 37-yard line. So a little bit dicey as he dropped the kick, picked it up, scored it up the middle, and cut it to the left side. And good return out across the 35-yard line. They'll spot that ball, 1st and 10 USF at the Cougar 36-yard line. So the Cougar offense trots back onto the field with very good field position at their own 36. And they would just like to establish some momentum again. E.J. Dean will check in as the running back. Dean had 3 carries for net 2. Here's Ferrer to throw, screens the ball, got a catch by Gegner, and he'll run across the 40 to about the 43. Zach Gegner a little slow getting up now. Big fella, 6'2 junior, 232 pounds. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. He's back in the huddle, so that'll be a gain of 8. Cougars with a 2nd down short yardage call coming up. They've got it at their own 44-yard line now. We're down to 93 seconds, time remaining in the quarter. 28-6, our score. Ferrer out of the pistol. Waits and looks to hand the ball off again. Dean P.J. Dean trying to run to his right, nothing there. He's going to lose yardage all the way back. They may spot the ball around the 41. That's going to be a generous spot because it looked like he never got back across the 40. But it'll bring up 3rd down and a short 4. Still with the objective of getting to the Cougar 46 on this snap coming up. Exactly 1 minute remains in the quarter. 2 wide to the right. Coat is wide to the left. And he will draw double team coverage. Here's Furrer, taps himself on the chest, waiting for the snap. Short drop, throws the ball, and that was low and wide of Seth Coat. And boy, no chance on that one for the 6'3" Seth Coat, and it'll be 3 and out for USF. They'll have to punt the ball away. That does not bode well. With 43 seconds, I think, still on the clock. Sun kind of obscuring some of the numbers now. But Spitnell comes on to punt the ball. Josh in the first half has punted once for 39 yards. He'll wait for the snap back at his own 28. Couturier at the Davenport 20. Again, 10 men up the line of scrimmage. Kick is away. High, wobbly ball. Couturier's going to catch it and run at the 20. Got a block. Runs to the 25 and wrapped up and dropped at the 31-yard line. So that is where, again, it'll be Davenport to work offensively. Takes the clock down to 30 seconds. But that dink and dime offense has been effective for the Panthers in this second half. They have strung together some first downs, got a touchdown on the 2-yard touchdown run by Sherlow, and now take over 1st and 10. They'll mark that ball back at their 30-yard line. Guest will come in as the running back. Hunter Kraus has been the quarterback all day. He's a 6'3" freshman, 216 pounds. So he's able to run with some authority as well. Came in with just short of 200 yards rushing on the year. Kraus, though, read option, hands the ball in a sweep, and they trip up Guest. Can't finish him off, but then they do. That was Pearson Harnish got enough. And then Carlin Coleman came in and wrapped up, got some help from Blake Blaker as well. That is a loss of about a half a yard. 2nd down, let's call it 11. Although they moved that ball virtually back to the same spot, so 2nd and 10, nose of the football just inside the 30-yard line. Davenport now features 3 wide to the left side, but they will let the time expire here in the 3rd quarter. So it is St. Francis still on top, 28-6. Cougars, though, did not score in that 3rd quarter. And this is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Life is a journey to God. We stumble, we get lost, we lose the light. The best way to navigate the journey is turning to the Catholic faith. Our daily life, spouse, children, neighbors, the stress of work and worry often lead us away from Christ. Whatever your trials, temptations, or tribulations, the Catholic faith is here. You can find the message of hope, trust, and conversion right here on Redeemer Radio. Welcome home to your family of faith.
And welcome home to Michigan. A lot of us saying that for years, toiled as the play-by-play announcer for the Grand Rapids Rampage in the Arena Football League. Never was out to Davenport, though. This is on the outskirts of Grand Rapids proper, just south of the airport. Beautiful facility. They didn't have this, though, I know, back in the day. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. This time now, the Panthers working from right to left as we look at it. Short drop, a throw to the right. They've got a catch. Short of the 1st down, up about the 35. So it'll bring up T.C. Wells on the catch. And 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Panthers, trying to reach their own 40. We are into the 4th quarter. Blaker now checks out of the ball game. And Marcus Stepp, who has had an interception today, comes out onto the field. 3rd down and 5. Panthers trying to reach their own 40-yard line. Carlin Coleman still in there, right defensive end now. Motion by Keon Powers, starts back to the left side. And here's a quick throw to the right. They've got a screen set up, and that's played well. And nothing doing, a drop right back at the 35, maybe the 36, but well short of the 1st down stick. Couturier made the catch, but he was nailed. Might have been step. On 4th down, they're going to go for it, trying to get to their own 40. Jump, at least not enough. Play clock at 12. And he'll back up out of the shotgun once again. Now he might kick the ball. He backs up another couple of steps. Rush is coming. The kick is away. Short kick near side. Hits at the 39. Out of bounds quickly at about the 38. That is where St. Francis will get the ball back now with 13:27 remaining. It's still, I'm sure if you could look into Kevin Donnelly's mind, is trying to come with maybe a little bit more consistency by his first-team offensive unit. We'll see if he makes changes. But looks like the first number 1 guys are coming out on the field because they did not really finish off anything in that 3rd quarter. So the 4th down stop gets St. Francis 1st and 10 at the USF 39, now moving from left to right. Justin Green will come back in as the running back. Now working from the right side hash mark. Here's a quick pass to Coate. Coate tripped up and dropped for a loss. Again, they came shooting through there quickly to drop Seth Coate. That'll be a loss of about a yard back to the 38 is where they spot the ball. So you're in doubt as to whether is it that then Davenport defense that has just picked up their game a notch, or is the Cougar offense just a little bit flat? Maybe a combination of both. Gegner ready to snap the ball now on 2nd down and 11. Inside of 13 minutes, time remaining. As Ferrer looks to throw again. Short drop, throws left side. He's got Coate with a fingertips catch. Did he stay in bounds? They're going to call it a catch. Yes, they do, at the 44-yard line of Davenport. And I mean, Coate looking up, caught it on his fingertips, did just get 1 foot in bounds. And it'll be 1st and 10 USF at the Panther 44-yard line. Nicodemus now comes up. Nate Carson split wide of him on the far side. McDowell wide to the right. And Ferrer now with Green, the running back. Looks, hands the ball off. Here's Green, gets out of trouble. Cuts to the 35, up the middle, and then knocked down hard at the 30-yard line. Nice cutback by Justin Green. First to get out of the hole in the middle. Looked like they were converging on him, but runs for another 1st down to the Davenport 30-yard line. Sean Boswell also out there now on this series right now. So 1st and 10, USF at the 30. Carson stays in wide to the left. Boswell in the slot to the left side. McDowell wide to the right. Nicodemus up on the wing to the left side. And here's Ferrer. Long count from line of scrimmage. Stretch handoff. Goes to Green. Tripped up. Steps out of a tackle. They try to string it out, and they still push him out of bounds. He was. They still had contact with him. No penalty, as they will mark him out of bounds right at the 30. Loss of 1. So 2nd down and 11. Cougars eating up some time on the clock. We're down inside 11 and a half minutes, time remaining. They have a comfortable lead of 22 points, so a 3-score lead. But now what's important right now is trying to establish some consistency on offense. Boswell up in the slot to the right side. Let's see if Ferrer goes to him. Long count again. Short drop. Looks, pump fake. Now throws to the corner. McDowell's out there and lays out for it. A couple of yards deep in the end zone. Could not find the handle. That ball just sailed a little bit too much on Ferrer. Takes the clock to 11 minutes, but now brings up 3rd down and 10 with Seth Coate coming back onto the field. Cougars might field at the 30. They are very much in 4-down yardage area. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass. 11 minutes exactly remaining. Nicodemus stays in. He's up on the wing. Left side, lined up directly behind Seth Coate, who is tight to the left. Ferrer now getting ready. He's got motion by Boswell. And here's the rush coming, and he had to get rid of the ball. Just threw it away to an open spot. Boy, they were coming in, and Ferrer slow getting up, sitting on the ground, now helped up by Alex Woods. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Cougars look like they still, now there's a late penalty flag. That came well late of everything. They call it intentional grounding. Was not out of the tackle box. So it'll be 4th down. And the Cougars are headed to the sidelines. And we do not have anybody out there. Do we have a timeout taken? I believe the Cougar coaches want to talk to their offensive unit. Cougars do not have a team out on the field. That was loss of down, so it's turned over, I believe. No, it is still going to be 4th down. 4th down and 20 with the ball for 40, and Spidnale will kick the ball away. Well, the Cougar coaches took the offensive team, and they are all by themselves with coaches around them. Now we have another whistle down on the carpet. Delay of game against St. Francis. That'll move them back to the 45-yard line. 10:55 remains, but Kevin Downey cannot be happy with the lack of execution. And they've not gone into that attack mode. Spidnale waits at his own 42 for the snap. Got it. Rush is coming. Kick is away. Down the middle. Fair catch called late at the 11. Right at the 10, I should say, by Couturier. That's the first time he's taken the fair catch, so Davenport will have it. 1st and 10 at the Panther 10-yard line with 10:48 remaining in this ball game. Well, that's one of those meetings, I would guess, over there by the offensive unit that you don't want anyone else around because, well, let me put it this way. Coach D has been known over 20 years to get his point across in emphatic terms, sometimes colorful terms. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, that offense for the Davenport Panthers comes out, led by big Najee Brown, the 6'4", 350-pound tackle. Here is a throw to the right side, and that one is nearly picked off as Holman had it in his hands at the 30. He jumped the route, timed it perfectly, in and out. He hit him right on the numbers. That time, Krause rolling out to his right side and just staring down the receivers. Holman, who's had already one interception today, should have had a second. It would have been number 3 for the Cougars today. Marcus Stepp had the second one. Now the Cougar defense, a little bit questionable how they want to set up, especially in cover 2. Stewart's coming up. So now it will be, they'll run the ball, and Jess looking, no, he's going to get knocked down back around the 5. Cougars were coming. Great penetration across the line of scrimmage. Cam Shackelford, I believe, got to him first. So that's a loss of about 4 yards to bring up 3rd down and 14, with the loss back to the 6-yard line. Davenport's got to be very, very careful here. And the Cougars would love nothing better than to get their hands on the football on a pick. Now they load the left side with trips. Shotgun formation again. They want to run the ball. Off tackle run just gets up to about the 9, maybe the 10-yard line with Guest on the carry that time. So it'll bring up 4th down and 10. And we'll see if Gregory will come in to punt the ball, and he will. Patrick Gregory this year, 19 punts, averaging over 40 yards a punt, has got a long of 64. Against St. Joe Rensselaer there last week, averaged over 43 yards a punt with a long of 59. Boswell at the 44-yard line of Davenport in punt return. And some 7 yards deep is Gregory out of the end zone of the Panthers, getting ready to punt this ball away, looking up into the sun. Now whistles blow again. Play clock ran out. Did they call a timeout? It is half the distance. It'll take the ball back to the 5-yard line one way or another. They had it at the 10, so now Gregory will be lined up even deeper. Ball's at the 5, and he will be about 2 yards away from the end line. Low snap, he's got it. Left-footed kick is away off the side of his foot, near side. That will kick high and out of bounds, or will it? Right around the 38-39 yard line of Davenport. That's where St. Francis on the offense will go back to work. Great field position, and we'll see if that little lecture by the Cougar coaches has stimulated the offense that has been somewhat stagnant here after leading at 28-0 at the first half. Now they've got great field position at the 40-yard line of Davenport, 1st and 10. Rocky James will check into the game, wide to the near side. B.J. Dean is the running back. Gegner comes in. He's the H-back, if you will, off the left wing, and 2 wide to the left. Ball's at the right side hash mark. The play action fake. Here's Ferrer. Steps up, looking, throws near side, and that's wide and incomplete. And Nick Ferrer has not been on target here in the second half. He was looking for Charles Gaston on a little square out pattern. Ferrer trying to step up in the pocket. Rush was coming from the outside. That was picked up basically pretty well. But Ferrer, looking to his right, could not find Gaston. Gaston stays in, and he will be up flanked to the near side, basically in the slot. 2nd down and 10. They come up and press cover to the outside. Here's a run up by P.J. Dean, and got to about the 37-yard line, pushed back as the whistles blow, and they'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 8 coming for the Cougars. Cougars do huddle up now with 6:30 remaining. Again, the sun blanching out. It might be 8:24 rather than 6. It is 8 minutes. 8 minutes, 19 seconds now remaining in the ballgame. Coat back in wide to the left. Had 129 receiving yards in the first half. Let's see if Ferrer goes to him. Blitz is coming, though. Ferrer looks to the right, throws the ball, and that's a toss. Let's see if it's caught. It is. That is a huge grab by Rocky James. That ball was high and behind. James came back, left his feet, got a foot in bounds as he was coming back to earth. And a big play by Rocky James on a high ball thrown by Ferrer. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26. Now McDowell comes in, replaces James. They've tried to go to McDowell a couple of times, but again, with a wind that was out of the west-southwest, a crosswind, and that has blown the ball away from McDowell a couple of times. He split wide to the short side to the right. Short drop, they'll screen the ball. Dean with a blocker, 25-20, angles out of bounds. He'll take what the defense gives, and that should be a pickup of about 5 yards. Quick hitting play off to the right side. Ferrer screening the ball and brings up 2nd down and 5. Now we're inside of 7.5 minutes time remaining. Gaston leaves the ball game. Gegner's in there. McDowell as well. Looks like Ferrer's got the play call in, and they'll use Seth Coate back in there. He's tight to the left. P.J. Dean stays in as the running back. Ferrer sets up out of the pistol, waiting for the snap. He's got it. Play action fake, steps up, now will run the ball, and is nailed right at the 22-yard line. Wanted to go down deep. They had double coverage on McDowell. He faked the pitch to the right, stepped up in the pocket about 2 steps, then decided to run, and they'll mark him down back at the 23-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 7. And now we are exactly at 6.5 minutes time remaining with the clock moving. Cougars would love the touchdown, if nothing else, just to reestablish some confidence with the week off coming next Saturday. They do not play. The regular season ends today. Playoffs 2 weeks from today. 3rd down and long. Ferrer with Cote wide to the left side. Motion out. Gigner back to the right. Resets. Play clock at 1. Did he call a timeout in time? And did he? Let's see. Yeah, St. Francis did just enough get the timeout called. So with 6:03 remaining, remains a 28-6 ball game. St. Francis with 3rd and long. When we return to Michigan, we'll be back in 30 seconds. Cougar Football Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
A clean office space. Okay, that's an easy choice. And choosing the right company to clean your business is easy too. Siokas Professional Cleaning is the choice of a lot of Fort Wayne companies because of the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Siokas does it with built-in check systems to make sure your business is cleaned beyond your expectations every time. First impressions are critical, so make sure yours is always the best with professional cleaning from Siokas. The best people, the best service. 483-2112 or online at siokas.com.
Well, Nick Ferrer on target in the first half with 3 touchdown tosses. One to Jason Nicodemus, the second to Hakeem Kelsaw. And, of course, that was all preceded by a one-play 78-yard touchdown bomb from Ferrer to Seth Cote. But it's been a different story here in the second half. It is still 28-6. Cougars have had a couple of 4th down stops today. They've had a pair of interceptions. But now they've got 3rd down and 7. Ferrer looking to throw. Pump fake, throws the left corner. He's got Cote out there. Looks, he's got the catch. Did he get a foot in bounds? Touchdown. So 23 yards on the touchdown toss. Seth Cote, his second catch of the day at the 5:56 mark. And that will feel a little bit better to the coaching staff as Ferrer just lofted it in the air. And Cote got behind the defense just before he got to the sideline, caught it inbounds, touchdown USF, and they lead it 34-6. Nix will come on now to attempt the extra point. And now I wouldn't be surprised with under 6 minutes, you'll see a lot of new numbers coming in there. Boswell with the hold. The kick by Nix is driving up and good. So that will make it 35-6. And we'll be back here to Michigan after this. Cougar football on the road on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their 3rd generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
It is always amazing to me that in the game of football, how you have these emotional and ups and downs, and things going well, you're up at 28-0 at halftime, and then for whatever reason, you just become a little bit stagnant. Can't finish drives, can't get first downs, and then one play, one throw can turn it all around, and all's well with the world. And right now, St. Francis on top here, a lead of 29 points with just under 6 minutes remaining in this ball game. But that is the game of football. Emotional highs and emotional lows. Now Gaston leading the charge with a kickoff unit as Nix will tee it up and kick it away from the 35-yard line. Now that sun becoming more of a factor in the kick return unit for Davenport. They're looking up into the sun. Couturier back there as here comes Nix. It's a hooking ball that may go out of bounds. It bounds in play and does go out of bounds at the 5, so that'll give them 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. So decent field position now for the Panthers in the final minutes of this ball game. As we mentioned, their first-year head coach, Lou Esposito, was the defensive coordinator at Ferris State, starting this new program here at Davenport. He'll be happy in the sense that in his first year with basically young pups, as Kevin Donnelly called his team back in 1998, but 17 freshmen or redshirt freshmen on both sides of the ball starting this game today, and they will have a winning record in their inaugural year, and now they will move to the GLIAC in NCAA Division II beginning next season. So one and done in the NAIA this year. Motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage as Kraus looks to hand it off, and there's nothing there. They'll get about a yard. Eric Dutton, I believe, in there on the stop. Let's see, we got new numbers coming in. Look like Matt Muncie on the field right now. Marcus Stepp, who's got an interception. Holman stays out there with Stewart in the two safeties. And Ryan Johnson in at one corner. We'll check the up front defensive unit for St. Francis. Now, that was a gain of 2, second down and 8. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Play action fake. No, they do hand the ball off and a runoff tackle left side. Just across the 35 to the 36. Not much there. So the Cougars strung it out. Carlin Coleman still out there defensively up front. Matt Swartz also on the front line. Malachi Mannion was in there, but now he checks out. And on the left side, let's see, it's Adam Neal. Cole still in there at the left cornerback position. It'll be third down and 8. Cougars trying to get pressure now on Hunter Kraus. Out of the shotgun formation, he waits. Wants to throw, steps up in the pocket, being pursued, and throws late over the middle, and that one was nearly picked off in the vicinity of Marcus Stepp. Boy, Kraus was being run down. I believe that was Coleman trying to run him down from the right side. Just got rid of the ball, nearly made a very bad decision where he was trying to put that ball. Now they bring in the punt unit in this 35-6 ball game with 4:29 remaining. Boswell back in there in punt return. And Gregory will wait for the snap inside his 25-yard line. Final minutes here. St. Francis trying to go 9-1 on the regular season. Kick is away, high, short. End over end, wobbly ball, and that's out of bounds. That'll give St. Francis very good field position somewhere up around the Cougar 40-yard line plus. Or are you kidding me? They're going to mark that ball back at the 38. It went out of bounds up here around the 42. So it'll be 1st and 10, St. Francis at the Cougar 38. And we will see Clay Cenarius, 6'4" freshman, out of Waterford, Michigan. So getting a chance here, going back home in a sense. And we'll see how the Cougars play. There's a low snap that dribbles through it, and it's a loose ball. And that one, St. Francis covers up all the way back on the 15-yard line. That one never had a chance. That was a worm burner all the way back to Cenarius. Aaron Harris tried to field it, but one of the linemen fell on it back at around the, well, they're going to mark it down at the 17. Gaston out there. Dan Rixey in as a wideout as well. Nate Carson in. And let's see, last week we saw Kevin Downey alternating quarterbacks, but now he keeps Cenarius out there. But that will be a loss all the way back to the 17-yard line, and 2nd down and 28 coming up. Now you need a good snap and got it here. Cenarius screens the ball left side, and that's Gaston. Gaston turned the corner, 25 up close to the 30, where he is angled out of bounds. So Gaston at the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down and still about 17. Got about 11 yards of that loss back. Cougars would need to get out to their own 48 on this snap. I think more than anything, they're interested in running clock that is inside of 3 minutes. So you might see a running play here with Harris flexing a leg, waiting for the snap to Cenarius. He does want to throw and pulls it down, fakes, runs to his right, looking, now commits to the run, hit high, lost the ball, but the Gaston is there to fall on it to bring up 4th down and 10. So Gaston, Johnny come at the right spot at the right place. Gaston popped on the loose ball. They might have ruled Cenarius down anyway, but it will bring up 4th down, and Spitdale will punt the ball away with the clock down to 2:20. So Couturier will have at least one more opportunity. Looking up in the sun, he waits at the Panther 20-yard line for Josh Spitnail's punt. Now they're going to load the left side. Let's see if they're coming with the rush. Now they drop one back, so they've got 9 on the up front. Here's the snap. Spitnail kick is away. High end over end. Couturier lines it up, will run it back. Cuts to his right side and is brought down across the 20-yard line. Got it out to about the 22. Matt Muncie in on the stop defensively. So the clock with 1:47 remaining in the final snaps of this Saturday afternoon coming up. For the final few snaps in this 2000 inaugural season for the 2016 version of the Davenport University Panther football team. They're going to stay with Hunter Kraus. He's gone all the way today at quarterback. They may have a new running back in there. It might be Kai Black. Let's check that. Number's a little difficult to make out with the type of bordering they've got. And they will run the ball. Or is that Ivy back in there? No, it's Jest who's come back in. So Guest runs straight ahead for about 4.5 yards. Clock is down to 1:21 now, still running. Still a lot of time on the play clock, and standing around are the Panthers. No urgency, no sense of urgency wanting to get this snap off as the clock will run down close to 1 minute on 2nd down and 5. Now they're ready to run a play. Exactly 1 minute time remains. And again, are they going to run Jest? And he's up the middle across the 30 to the 33. That'll leave them about a yard short of the first down stick. Well, if they convert, they'll get a new series. And just seconds remaining. We're down to 40 seconds now. Time to play. Panthers again taking plenty of time. Oh, wow. There's a late signal, and they give them a first down up around the 30, just across the 33. So they do have a chance, and the clock continues to run. That was different, but then again, we're in Michigan. Kraus out of the gun. Waits. Will he hand it off? He does, and boy, the Cougars were waiting for him that time and buried him. Coming through there, stopped by Malachi Mannion. And Carlin Coleman as well was there. So that's a loss of about 3. And that will do it. They're not going to get another playoff here today. So it will make it a 35-6 final. University of St. Francis with 28 first-half points. Finally got on the board in the fourth quarter on a 23-yard Ferrer to Sethco touchdown toss in the left corner of the end zone. And they will win this ball game by a final score of 35-6. Teams at midfield with the traditional handshakes. We'll be back with our post-game show coming up after this. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Meet the Murphys and the Taylors. These neighbors both refinanced their homes to take advantage of a better interest rate and to lower their monthly payments. The Murphys used a big bank and spent their vacation money to pay $2,300 in closing costs. Meanwhile, the Taylors paid only $199 by choosing Midwest America's special 10-year refinance program and didn't need to use their vacation money. Looks like this year, the Murphys will be getting the Taylors' mail while they're out of town. Find out about Midwest America's 10 and Done program, where you can own your home in just 10 years. Visit us online at midwestamerica.org for more details on this and other refinance options and first mortgages. You can also call or stop by to speak with a mortgage specialist at one of our branches located in Fort Wayne, New Haven, Columbia City, Decatur, and Huntington. Midwest America. Altogether better. An equal housing lender.
Now, with analysis of the game, what went right and what needs some work, let's go back to the stadium with the voice of the Cougars, Joe Parson, and the Redeemer Radio sports team.
Cougars win it here today in Michigan, 35-6. We will see if we can go down and pick up any of Kevin Downley's comments to his team grouped up down on the field. Let's see if we've got anything down there. We may not have the opportunity. We'll take a quick look. And I don't believe that we've got Bill Scott down there looking into with his wireless microphone down there to pick up things. So we will recap the score. First, looking at the line score of the ball game, the Cougars got on the board on an Aaron Harris touchdown run of 3 yards at the 8:01 mark to lead it 7-0. That stood up at the end of the first quarter. Nix with the extra point today. Then after a 4th down stop, maybe one of the biggest pivotal plays of the day, Cougars took over the ball at their own 22-yard line after that 4th down stop. And a one-play scoring toss for Ferrer to Seth Coate, who legged the final 35 yards into the end zone at the just inside the start of the second quarter. 78 yards on the scoring toss to make it 14-0 Cougars. Then an interception by Holman. It was a 4th down play. The Cougars took over at their own 2-yard line. They would have had the ball at the 21, but as it was, they would get the ball out of harm's way and set up a Ferrer to Jason Nicodemus touchdown of 8 yards at the 2:34 mark. 21-0 Cougars. Still with 2:34 remaining. They would get another chance for a score. Marcus stepped in front of a Hunter Krause pass, took the ball down to the 11-yard line, and that would lead to a Ferrer to Kelsaw touchdown pass on left corner with 28 seconds to play in the first half. Nix with the extra point. Cougars were on top at 28-0. Cougars had another 4th down stop in the second half, and they took over at their 5-yard line, but they could not move the football. Then it would be Davenport getting on the board. Skylar Sherlow from 2 yards out at the 2:14 mark. Kick was blocked, though. 28-6 was our score. Cougars would have the final score in that was Ferrer to Seth Coate in left corner of the end zone with 5.5 minutes remaining. Nix with the extra point, 35-6. Let's see if we do have Bill Scott down on the sideline.
So it was a good win for us today. We came out strong. You know, it's tough when you come out up by 28 at the half. We lost a little mojo there at the half. But anyway, we made a big play there at the fourth quarter. We've got a good football team. I like our team.
I like the way the defense played pretty much the whole game today. What do you think of their play?
Yeah, played so hard at another goal line stand, and then it seems like that's just part of the routine right now. So as long as we keep playing great defense, you know, I think we're going to be a pretty good football team.
All right, thanks, Coach Donnelly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bill Scott, our sports information director at the University of St. Francis, with post-game comments by the University of St. Francis coach Kevin Danley. So the Cougars win it here today in the regular season finale on the road. They will be home idle next week with a record of 9-1. They finished 5-1 in the Mid-East League. Other games in the MSFA elsewhere: Marion on the road at USF Illinois. Saints can be a dangerous team. Concordia hosting Missouri Baptist. Siena Heights at Trinity International. Taylor, they're on the road at Lindenwood Belleville. And in the Midwest League, it was Robert Morris at 3-0 in the league at St. X at 3-1. Cougars with a week off. Playoffs coming up 2 weeks from today on Saturday, November the 19th. Cougars, the expectation they will be home. They'll have a home bid in the first round of the NAIA playoffs at 12 noon on Saturday, November the 19th. So a good outing today. They finished in strong fashion, as Coach mentioned. Coate touchdown, his second reception of the ball game for a touchdown from Nick Ferrer, who threw for 4 scores today. 35-6 is going to wrap things up here today from West Michigan. Special thanks to Robert Score, our studio producer. My name's Joe Parson. Until 2 weeks from today from Darcy Stadium. So long, everybody. Thanks so very much for listening.